But
I mean,
we're gonna figure it out. You are live on YouTube. Oh, I gotta change something on Facebook. It's always Facebook. Facebook's such a pain. I hate Facebook.
when is the other Tim coming on?
I don't know.
You want me
Okay.
to send him? I don't have the
The link.
link. Yeah.
I put it in the chat.
Yeah, but
Here's the thing. Once I start streaming, I can't open the chat. I can't open
all right.
that.
The group
I-
chat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if somebody could send it to him,
Yeah, I'll send it to
that'd
him.
be great.
It won't let me paste it.
I pasted it. I don't know if it works now though.
Oh, yeah, because Messenger can be really weird with links. But we'll see how it goes.
Okay. Well, at least the pinned comment works, so that's nice. You're live now. I don't know.
Hello, everyone.
I don't know. I don't ever know how to start these, man. Like I hate memorial streams.
Yeah, I was talking about wearing bunny ears for it, so Yeah.
If the community could stop dying, we would appreciate it. Just stop.
yes. That was yeah. That's
Yeah.
not that's a bit nicer than the way I originally said that. But
Yeah.
Yeah. So, hello, everyone. It's whatever, April 13th, 2025. George was kind enough to put together this stream for us. We're waiting on a few other people at the moment, but I'm Tim, Evie's here, and obviously George. And we're here to talk about the passing of our main community member and friend, Marge. I don't know how to pronounce her last name.
I think it's
Lamoureux?
Lamoureux.
Lamoureux?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I we're all saddened by her passing. She was a great friend to the community. Um, and as George was saying, we have too many of these recently where we're losing people. Arthur, Sandy. I think we lost someone else recently too. I
We lost Sherry,
yeah, we lost Sherry.
John. There's a lot.
Yeah. So
I think like it's weird. I was thinking about like the average age of the secret community member because they're a lot older than me, and they're a lot older than us. Everybody on the stream is a lot older than us. So I was talking to Rachel, and she's like, "You probably get used to this because like our target audience is getting up there." It's sad, but it's true. And you know, with healthcare, what it is in America. I said
Yeah.
that, no one else. It's fine.
Mhm.
I did forget something though. I have to run and grab something real quick. So you guys talk amongst yourselves.
All right.
oh yeah, we need to have our toast and I don't toast.
So I don't know. Do you want to introduce the GoFundMe, or do you want me to do it, Evie?
You are the legal person.
Don't use that word.
You are the
Organizer, I guess. I don't
yes.
know. All right.
You
So
are the one that knows how things work.
So what did we miss? Nothing at the moment, Rebecca. But we were just basically talking about Marge. Couple of us. So unfortunately, Marge passed away yesterday morning. We were unfortunately told by her family, and we were appreciative that her family reached out to us. A couple of us, Evie, myself, and a few others, put together a GoFundMe for her family, which I think the link is pinned there. I will post it as a separate post to the Facebook pages, both here in the main group and the anniversary hunt. But in order to promote donations. We discussed it among ourselves, and we were going to do a giveaway. I will post the major sets of stuff, but basically, as most of you know, I'm a realist. And I understand that a lot of people won't donate unless they get something in return. I know that's a cruel way to look at it, but we're trying to promote for her family the community's involvement in this. And so for the period of 1 week, give or take, from today, April 13th, to Easter Sunday, April 20th, if you donate to the GoFundMe, that's going to go, all of it is going to her family. We don't have any financial benefit in this. You will be entered into a giveaway where prizes will be given out depending on how much money is raised. The more money is raised, the better the prizes. And I will post a list of the prizes, and more will be added. I spoke with several members of the community, and they're willing to give their art to be donated for these giveaways. You'll see the general rules as attached, but essentially, whatever you can donate is greatly appreciative. None of us get a part of it. And so basically, among the prizes, just so you're aware, I had recently purchased a first edition secret book, black copy. And I will, if we can get enough donations, a copy of the secret will go out to one lucky person. There's also stuff for the anniversary hunt. I won't go much into details. Evie is more the expert on that realm. There may be some Aragon stuff coming in as prizes. There's other artwork, sculptures. We're going to be giving away. So Marge on the last live stream actually won one of the New York coins that Uncharted Collectibles made. We will be giving away that in her honor, because unfortunately she was going to get it on Easter, but unfortunately that didn't happen. So there's not secret. There's 12 treasure t-shirts that will be given away and other items. Again, I will list the prizes later on in the stream because I don't want to go into much details, but whatever you can donate is greatly appreciated. And Evie, take it away from there.
Well, we have a guest on. I'm not sure when he would like to speak, but it's Tim, who a lot of you have met at a different Tim, at a bunch of the meetups with Marge, and very special to each other. We're so sorry for your loss, Tim. We would like to help you as much as possible. You've got all of our thoughts and prayers. She was very loved and appreciated. She just like sparkles. So I don't know what else to say because I'm not good at this stuff either.
Tim is muted.
Yes.
Yep, I didn't even know the other Tim was there. And Tim, I 100% concur with Evie on we're sorry for your loss, and we wish it was under better circumstances that you could come onto the live stream.
And I'm not good with this technical stuff, so I can't tell you how to get unmuted.
You just press the mute button. There should be an audio button, and you just press it.
I know mine, it's at the bottom of my device, along with some other things like video and stuff. But
how about that?
That's
there we
better.
go.
Oh, right on. You guys are awesome. For as long as we've been doing this, and I started doing this without the community like 2017 or something. I want to say it was when I started doing the Milwaukee thing. I was a huge fan of Josh Gates. Then I seen it on Josh Gates, so I shared it with Marge. We watched it together, and she wanted to go to Milwaukee. She started doing it. She got involved with me. the community, the people that I had zero association with, really. I mean, I had bumped across John there at one point, didn't know each other from Adam. I'd never seen a podcast, didn't know there was such a thing. I just know there was a book. I had checked it out. I had found my way there. Was completely, I hadn't heard zero people's opinions. Marge fell in love with you people, the community with you people, the involvement, the interaction. And right from the start, just felt welcomed in a part. She fell in love with you guys, the relationships, a bond with people that she's never even met, you know, that didn't even know other than online, and then started meeting you guys live, and the support, the love that I felt for you, the welcome, the smile that you guys put on her face. I ended up starting to meet people, and just like George, I had the greatest respect that what he does for other people with zero, nothing to gain, that what he invests in the stress, the things that people put him through, and he just sticks right with it for other people. Zero, not for himself. He's been all through this. He's heard a million times. He's done everything he's doing a million times with a million different people. Just the effort and the caring, it's overwhelming. And to see John Palancar and the amount of people that are doing it, and then for to have you guys do this for her, I don't have words for it. You have no idea how much it means
family,
to me.
even if it's not blood related.
Right. But and there's certain people that she's just formed a bond with it. She adores you. She adored you. A lot of you. And like Evie and Sunday and George and Colmay, Rich Blanford, Jimmy Leonard. There's an extended list of people that have just, it touched her heart in such a way that it touched mine. It's amazing. And as bad as I was hurting, I felt like she betrayed me. I felt like I've been telling her for 8 years in our relationship, I want to spend the rest of my life with you, Marge. I want to spend the rest of my life with you, Marge. I felt I was upset. I was mad at her. Like she took that from me. One of the community reached out and said, Tim, you know, you asked her for this, you asked her for this. You feel like you got robbed of this. Instead of letting you she spent the rest of her life with you. It's amazing just to be able to be a part of this and to go out and see what you're doing for her family and for Alex.
Well, like I told Alex, like I know, like Marge doesn't have a lot of money, you know, and I know a lot of her family might not either, and I feel like when you're friends with people, you pull together in tough times and you make people's lives better. You know, you help each other out. Like that's how I grew up. Like if your neighbor or a member of your community is going through a hard time, you help out.
Right. And I understand that it means the world to me, but you have no idea how much this is going to help Alex. The weight that I feel like is you're helping to lift off my shoulders it's incredible, George.
Well, Marge did win this coin, and she was supposed to come down for Easter, so I just never mailed it. I was like, I'll give it to her when she comes to my house in a couple of days. And then she passed away. So somebody is going to get Marge's coin. I don't know who. I'm leaving that all up to Tim. There's a whole bunch of other stuff in there but I mean, like Marge meant a lot to a lot of people. That's something that it sucks because you never learn this. Like until you die, nobody ever says anything, right? Like nobody ever says how much someone meant to them. Nobody ever tells people to their face, you know? It's always like at a funeral, once somebody dies, they're like, oh, this person meant the world to me. But Marge meant a lot to a lot of people. Like, she was very special. She was very kind. Like, I mean, she took the photos at my wedding. Like that's, you know, that's,
right. And being able to do it, just the connection, it put a smile on her face. It was priceless.
Yeah.
It was priceless. The smile, that the love that she felt, it's hard to explain.
But that's
If you wasn't part of it, one of you that sees it going around like a family that people think we're the weirdest people. Like this was the most senseless thing. We were traveling all over the place doing all these things, and she didn't have a lot of money. Like she asked me the other day, hey, got this deal. Take me down to George's house. Find me down there. Let me buy this car. Drive me back. She was so excited when she, after, like Cole had touched her heart. She found out somebody along the line had told her they thought Cole was going to be at your house.
he is.
She lit up like a little kid on Christmas Day and she was so excited for 2 days that she was actually going to get to physically meet Cole.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
It would have been really cool.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that she can't come for more than one reason,
Yeah. Me too. What a shame.
Yeah.
And it came out of nowhere. Didn't know there was anything wrong with her at all. She had issues, had part of her lung removed years ago, blebs, pneumothorax, lungs collapsing, but nobody had any idea she was sick at all. She was at work, big smile on her face, her happy self. One of her people that works for her, she's the photographer of the Easter Bunny set. She does the Easter photos for families at the mall in Livonia, Michigan. For years, I was the Easter Bunny, would dress up 12 hours a day in this suit that you're 200 degrees in to make little kids smile. Just the simplest little things like that made her so happy. She was all chipper happy, dancing to the door, opened the door to let her coworker in, collapsed, quit breathing. They did CPR on her. She was gone before she got to the hospital. Just that quick out of the blue, not even an indication that she didn't feel well.
Yeah. And it sucks when it happens.
Aortic dissection, they said it was called, due to high blood pressure.
Oh. Well, that's much different than what I thought it was.
I just learned that from Alex. They got the autopsy back today.
Wow.
Right.
It's painless. We can at least be thankful for that. That's painless.
Right.
That's you don't even know it's coming.
And what you're doing, the things, the trinkets, the books, out of all this, I don't know if I'm going to be able to open up a book, go to a park, try to do this without Marge.
Yeah.
If I do, it'll be a long time. It'll be the paperback white book that we first bought on our way to Arkansas to a diamond mine when we learned of this. And we found one in Chicago, took a big detour, bought the white book. She read the whole book probably 2 or 3 times on the way back and forth to Arkansas Mine of Diamonds. We scribbled the book page to page, all the connections. We wrote in it all the meetings that we went to, the meetups. That's the book she had everybody sign. That's the only thing I'm going to hold on to. I know you're auctioning off a few things you had talked about. You're doing the GoFundMe and everything. So much for the family.
Mm-hmm.
But for me to be able to grant her final wishes, what she wants to happen, their family's from Ann Arbor. They live like 2 miles away from the big house at the University of Michigan. It's a real expensive to live neighborhood. They're straight up as city as you get. Her dad's buried at this big fancy church that's all gated, that you can only get on Sunday. It's like a gated community just to access the property. He's the only grave on the property, this big stone. She was worried they were going to put her in a casket, spend thousands of dollars for somebody to put makeup on her carcass that she's not even going to possess, and grieve and mourn with each other. She had expressed to me for months she didn't want that to happen. Spend $800, get her cremated, spread her a few of her ashes here and there if they want to get a headstone barrier, whatever. She pretty much pleaded to me for the last month, like she knew this was coming, not to let him do this. So I persuaded him. Her mom had bought a casket, was making arrangements for a funeral. I went, told him this is Marge's wishes. I promised her I would do what I can to make this happen. She wants part of her ashes to be spread in Louisville at Cherokee Park. I'm going to do whatever I can to make it happen. She wants part of her ashes to be spread at the bottom of the water fountain, at the waterfall in Milwaukee, our place where we went. In between time, we'd go just chill kind of down in the shade at the bottom where the waterfall was, that ravine. That was like our just a go-to spot just to hang out when we were there. When it's all said and done with, over with, everything settles down, she wants me to take part of her ashes to her dig spot where we've been time and time and time again, dug and dug and dug, been almost arrested by the police, interrogated. It's been an adventure, you know. She asked me to go sneak in there at 4 o'clock in the morning with her little bitty pen flashlight that she would hold for me while I dug, bring her with me, take her light, dig her spot one last time, put some of her ashes in there, plant either a birch tree or a black locust in the hole, which she thinks is part of her puzzle, part of herself or whatever, on top of her ashes, let it fertilize the tree, let it grow. She feels like part of her is going to live. And instead of going to see her at a cemetery, to go to Lake Park once a year, sit up against this tree, talk to her, spend time with her. If I could sell her book, her black book, the original book that she has, the hardcover book, the Japanese hints, the whole fucking package, the print that she has on canvas, if them would bring me enough money alone to be able to make that happen, to drive to Louisville, to make 2 trips to Milwaukee, I would be more than happy. And especially if it was a new member of your community that's just joined in now that the books have been pretty much depleted. They're not out there just to be found by everybody like they were at one point.
Yeah.
They're harder and harder and harder to come across one. If there's somebody new, I guess the first offer, whether you have to auction it off with something, whether somebody sends me an offer and I said, you know what, that'll cover my expenses, I'll mail it to you. If somebody wants to shoot me an offer to have her book that John Palencar signed to Marge and Kit signed, not to guess, you know, just I would be more than welcome to let somebody have it if they could help me make her dreams come true, her wishes.
Okay.
I don't want a dime out of it. Every single penny of it go to her kids, her family. That's the most beautiful thing I ever heard. It really is. But if somebody can help me make her wishes come true.
I mean, I'm sure somebody will take you up on that offer, because those are very hard to come by.
Right. And it's personally signed to Marge, John Drew Palencar. Kit signed it. Thank you. You know, she did when she was doing the photography, the event. They let her, before they did autographs and signed books or whatever, pulled her aside, sat down personally with her, let her get her signed, have their minute to talk with her so that she could focus all of her energy into taking pictures of everybody else's. All of you have gone to great lengths to make her feel welcome. It means the world to me. It did to her too.
Well, if anybody wants to buy Marge's books, just send Tim, Tim, a message, and that can be arranged. I mean, I'm sure that won't be a difficult sell. And then, you know, you can take care of all of that.
Right.
It sounds very touching.
Right. And it's for since day one, she's probably been wanting to do a walkthrough of herself with you. But it would never happen with Marge because she is a perfectionist. In order to do it, she would have had to have every bit of documentation, all the evidence, all the research, everything from going to the library, going downtown, going to the Historic Society to back up everything that she's, and she is so thorough. She would have never been happy that she had enough to actually do it. It would never actually happen. I don't think that ever would have actually happened. but I kind of explained to you where it's at.
Yeah.
When I do it, I'll probably be burying a big piece of amethyst, you know, things that related to this that we've acquired along the way, that all of the coins, all of that kind of stuff, it'll probably be sealed right up in a package, growing underneath of a freshly planted black locust that wasn't put there in landscaping, not where it's going to get mowed over, not off in the woods, but where, if you have any idea where her spot was and you go there, or you see a fresh black locust tree, if somebody accidentally finds it, comes across it, if you dig up the things that I'm burying there for Marge, please return it. It'll be obvious where it's at. It's at the south corner, the very southmost corner of the footbridge. There, at one point, there was a telephone box that sat there, right on that corner.
I will warn you though, and if you plant a tree in Lake Park, they're gonna take it out.
It's a wooded area. If you're familiar with it, where the hillsides are, where they just completely rebuilt the footbridge,
Yeah.
off to the sides of the asphalt going down the hillside, it's kind of cleared now and blanketed and grass planted, but it's trees. It's naturally growing up. It's trees. The tree I'll plant, it's solid black locust. That whole area of the woods of the park. I'm not going to go bring in a foreign tree. I'm going to go move a young sapling from 30 feet over there where it was growing right to her spot, relocate it 30 feet.
All right. Sounds good to me.
Right.
Sometimes the Parks Department will let you donate a tree with a plaque. And can we chip in?
Right. They probably would.
That
They
can be
probably
arranged.
would, George. But she asked me to do this as if I was sneaking into Lake Park at 4 o'clock in the morning with her flashlight, trying to dig up her spot and find the treasure one more time. And she wants to do it with me.
Her son just offered to drive you. So yeah, you guys could do that together. That'd be sweet. I'm sure she would like that.
Yeah.
Because man, she talked really well of her kids. I know she loved them. So
they're
I know he would drive her son to go see his girlfriend up north. She'd be waving at Midland as she'd go by.
They're just as big of hearts, as kind and gentle of souls as their mom was. All three of them.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna try to do all we can. I mean, because communities
right
should lean on one another.
It's overwhelming. It just hurt. I mean, it's probably the silliest thing, but the care that she has for all of you, the love that she has for you, for people that we've just met over the course of 5 years together, and the bonds and the connection that she felt with a lot of you that she's never even physically met. The smile it brought to her face, it was, people would tell us, wait, I don't know why you do that. You ain't going to dig that up. You ain't never going to find it. You know, it's senseless. But like I've told her a million times, I don't care how much money I have, how I spend my money, how I waste money means nothing to me. I'm so much more concerned with how I spend my time and wasting my time that I could care less. That's this right here. This is exactly why I value that time and how I spend my time and waste. I feel like it's been the most valuable time, some of the most valuable time in my life. The bond that we've had with her, the people we've made traveling all over, the time that I spent is priceless to me. The time that you guys have given her, that, you know, it's overwhelming. It is.
Do you know a funny story about Marge that nobody knows? I don't even think Marge knew. I don't think she ever put two and two together. So we were all in Boston, right? We were doing that Boston meetup. And then after the meetup, a bunch of us got together and went to this place called the Black Rose, which is this like, I don't know, some kind of historic bar or something in Boston.
Was that the last one when I think that was like the last bar we all kind of got together at like an intersection of the big long walk and kind of regrouped, recongregated, and then we went.
Yeah.
Part of it was on the patio to the street, and part of it was indoors. Is that the place that you're talking about?
No, that was where the meetup.
Before that,
that was where the meetup
bar
was.
Yeah,
the bar after, at night.
Right.
So it was Destiny's 21st birthday that night. Well, it would have been at midnight. Destiny would turn 21. So we all went to this bar, and they were carding people, and the bouncer at the bar was like, "You're not 21 yet. You can't get in." And we bribed the bartender, or not the bartender. We bribed the bouncer. We gave him like $20. We were like, "Just look the other way, dude. Be bad at math for a little while." And he was like, "All right." So we were all drinking, and at like around midnight, 12:30 or whatever, I think it was Ashley Heidel bought a round of lemon drops. So it was Ashley, Marge, and Destiny all doing like lemon drop shots, and that was Destiny's first legal drink.
Oh, right on.
With Marge, yeah.
Right on.
And nobody knew. It was like, I think me and Nick, because Nick was the one. Nick was the only one that had cash, so he was like, "Here, just give this to the bartender, or give this to the bouncer." So it was like me and Nick were the only ones that knew she wasn't 21 for like 3 hours.
Right.
That was fun. Fun times.
Yeah. There was one other. I knew it shortly after the first shot, lemon drop shot or whatever that Marge did with her, because naturally we're together. She comes back over the table. She kind of chuckled. She goes, "I think Nick talked the fucking bartenders into letting Destiny come in here and have a drink 3 hours before she turned." She thought it was, but she mentioned it. Oh. I do remember that. That was after we left that Irish pub with the dude sitting on the stage singing Irish music. That was the next place after that, right?
Same pub, same place. The one with the band.
Oh, that was the Irish pub?
Yeah, that was the only one you guys went to us with. We all separated after that.
Nope, we left there and we walked down the street, and there was rats running up and down the streets, across the intersections. And we went around the corner down the street, and there was another bar we sat. It was kind of half outdoors, like a patio area.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a little fence that you had to kind of jump over, or else you had to walk all the way around, go through the fence. We had to wait a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of sit outside and wait until they had tables for us.
Yeah.
I remember. By that point, there wasn't a whole lot of us, and Nick was buying Johnny Walker Black pretty fast. But I do remember that much of it.
Yeah. That was a fun night.
Yeah, it was a good night.
So anyway, Tim left us. Oh, he's back.
I'm here. I'm here.
So there's a GoFundMe. There's a link. It's on Facebook. I should probably post it on YouTube as well. For Marge, if you would like to donate, there's a whole list of stuff that Tim's going to give away for anybody who does. Like a whole huge lot of stuff. I posted it on YouTube now. Everything from Marge's coin that she won last week. It's so weird. She won this last week. A bunch of other stuff. So if you can and you're willing, just click that link wherever it is, and go do that.
Yeah, her own family, even because I told them that's what Marge told me or whatever. I went and talked to her mom, told her these were my intentions, this is what I wanted to do. She had already was in the process of ordering a casket, making the funeral happen, making plans for a visitation, and I drove to her house, Ann Arbor, 100 miles away, with the intentions of asking her sons how they felt about it, expressing to them that was her wishes, and I had promised her that I would try to make it happen. instead I pulled into her mom's, she's 85 years old. I pulled into her driveway, said, hey, you know what? This is what I intend to do. I intend to go ask Alex, Justin, Nicholas, her kids, to express to them this is what she had asked me for, you know. But I went and got her blessing first to even go and ask them kids about it at all. I talked to her mom. Her mom's like, you know, I think I need to rethink this whole process or whatever. And to my knowledge, I think they're going to respect her wish. Just the respect, the kindness and support that I've gotten, even from her family and from everybody else, it's overwhelming. It really is. How much people care, I don't know.
Yeah, it sucks that you never know how much people care until you're gone. You
well,
know,
it's the world is not like it was. It's changed, and people don't give a fuck. They don't. You know,
I think they
it's
do.
not.
They just
Well,
don't.
I shouldn't say that, but it's getting more and more and more rare, and especially in the younger generations. But to see a group, a community of people that are so tight knit, is, I don't know. It's a breath of fresh air, kind of. It really is.
We used to
In
have
an
this.
ugly, sad time, dark time, that you guys have brought a light. That
I used to, like, when I was growing up, my grandmother had this, like, this, I don't know, thing that she said you should always live by. It was it was nice. She said you should always leave somebody with a kind word because you never know if that'll be the last word you can say to them. And I feel like it's not that the world has changed and people don't give a shit anymore. It's that the world has changed and people have forgotten. But this could be the last time you talk to somebody. You know what I'm saying? So it's why I try to tell people all the time, like, just tell, if somebody means something to you, just tell them. You know? Because
yeah.
people have conflicts inside. You never know what's going on, and you never know how much that kind word will mean to them. So
yeah.
I don't know. But anyway.
Right. And not so much that people don't care. They'll express their kindness or whatever. But for most people, as long as it's not at their expense in any way.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. You know, that I feel like, and you guys are such a giving, the time, the effort, what you donate and put into this for everybody else. It's overwhelming. I can't believe it. There's a mad respect for all of you. That if Marge hadn't been Marge and made such connections, I would probably still be like I was doing in 2017, and nobody would even know my name or that I exist, you know. And I would have probably not the same with all of you guys. And I kind of credit Marge with bringing me out of my shell. Such a private person, kept to myself, out of my comfort zone. Even being able to meet some of you guys, being able to spend time with you, I kind of credit her. You guys are awesome. You really are, and I would have never even given it a second thought if it hadn't been for Marge.
Yeah. She will be missed. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I think Sunday's joining too, by the way. At some point. I don't know where she
I think
is.
coming up soon.
Huh?
I said she's supposed to be joining up. She might be having some technical difficulties, but yeah, Tim, my biggest memory is going to be the people stealing your guys' breakfast in Cleveland and just eating like, oh yeah, this isn't what I ordered, but I'm gonna eat it, and you guys are like, where's our food? And they were
the
like,
Halloween bar.
You didn't eat no food. And they're sitting right next to you. They didn't even apologize for it. It was so strange.
Yeah.
I just looked at my text messages or my Facebook messages, and all of Marge's kids are like, "Can you give me the link to the live stream so I can watch?" But they're all here now, so I'm sorry.
Right on.
I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to ignore you guys. It's hard to check messages while doing this.
Right on. And they've sat and watched this all happen and probably kind of laugh, oh, silly mom, you know, just because she was so involved and wrapped up. And if it was Sunday and there was going to be a Sunday Funday, that was her priority. Everything else, she's disappeared. She's locked in her room in the private. Don't make a noise, you know. And it's so foreign to them, probably watching it happen from the distance. And now, what probably seemed senseless to them, us traveling all over, probably seeing the bond and the connection in people that they've never even heard of, that they thought was just silliness with this nonsense treasure hunt,
Yeah.
that have touched her so much and that she touched, coming together to help them. It's got to kind of be overwhelming too. I'm sure that means the world to all of them, probably even more so than it does to me too, to see you guys do this.
Sunday, what's your favorite March story? Or do you have a favorite March story?
I mean, Marge was so great. I think my favorite March story was when you guys were in Boston, and George, you were there, and you're like, "Yeah, I'm here with Marge," and I was like, "You got to meet Marge! Oh my god!"
Right?
Yeah. So I mean, like talking with Marge was like, I mean, we made fast friends, but it was also like it felt like old friends, you know? Like she was just
right.
Yeah, we'll definitely miss her.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the support. Tim has reached out, probably spent an hour on the phone messaging me back and forth last night. Let me go on and on and on and on about how much you guys have touched Marge, and make sure that I make a point to shout out. And there's so many people that I should mention. Rich Blandford and Jimmy Leonard and Cole and Sunday especially, and Evie, and there's so many of you that have made such a big impact and touched her so deeply in a short period of time that she held so dear to her. It was a beautiful thing to sit and watch, even just to be part of it.
Well, we were blessed to know her and to be a part of it too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So when George told us, I think we were all just like really sad. And then I think our next thought was, what can we do? You know, like how can we help? And it's just it's always so amazing to see like how it snowballs, you know, like how
it's
things
hard for me to take.
Yeah.
And it would be hard for Marge, because Marge is the most giving person. And I'm a giving person. And it is hard for me to watch somebody else give back to us.
I mean, it's such a blessing, but think about when you help somebody, like what a blessing it is to you. You know,
Right.
That's how we feel now.
Right.
We can do something to help Marge, to help her family, to help you, to help, you know, just ease. I mean, nothing really.
Right.
Nothing
And I
pain,
stress,
just ease something.
I stress so strongly to everybody that I come across, to every day try to do something to make somebody else's life a little bit better. If everybody could do that once a day, if everybody would do one little effort to make somebody else's life better,
yeah,
everybody's life would be made a little bit better every day.
Yeah, for sure.
Nick, her son, said he always thought the treasure hunts she would travel to were kind of silly, but he supported her. And
and tell us now, you're never going to find it. Why are you doing that?
He's right.
You know, why you spend so much time and gas? You spent 10 times the amount doing this that you're going to get off one single gemstone. It's like, you can have the gemstone, dude.
Yeah.
You can have the cast. I would be so, just to be able to say that I solved one of Byron's puzzles.
Yeah. It's definitely the adventure.
I graduated in 84. This came out in 82. I was 10th, 11th grade in 82. Right at the high school. I feel like I was the target audience. Watching Batman on TV with the Riddler. I seen all this. That just, everything just clicked. That was my era, my generation of riddles. The whole thing. It was like I was his target audience.
Nice.
I kind of felt that way. All of them. That
I was just looking to see like where we are. Tim, do you have like
I can look.
Yeah, so we made 200. So we wanted to do something special. So like, so we just kind of like pulled some stuff together and like, but yeah, so 200. So like everybody that gives something is in the drawing, but then like, so we just made the
I think Tim put all of like the stuff in the.
yeah in the post. Okay, yes.
I think
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
so.
That is so cool.
Yeah,
Those are pretty limited edition too.
those coins, or
No,
the
the lamp thingy.
The lamp,
oh yeah,
the lamp post with the lamp on top.
Yeah.
that lights up, I believe.
it
I
does.
don't have-
It's got like a tea light candle, like a
Yeah.
LED tea light candle in it. Sure I can
Yeah,
do that.
Another thing that kind of comes full circle, when Arthur Skye passed away, I don't know if like some people that are maybe new to the community, he was so many things, like so amazing. And he was a phenomenal artist, and he made some ornaments that you can't buy because no one's gonna sell them. If anyone ever gets one, they're cherished. But on the day that he passed away, one of my close friends, Steve Yoakum, brought me a set of 7 of his ornaments, and I had already gotten some from Arthur. And I knew that when Steve brought them over, that I knew exactly what they were for. You know, they were to give away. They were to pay it forward. So we've used a few for like special stuff for the anniversary hunt and stuff like that. But also like I won to give away. I'm not sure exactly where it is on the list, but so like I wanted to donate like one of these like it's the New Orleans, and so Arthur made them all by hand, and they're amazing. I think he made all 12 cities for sure. I know he also made the tribute, like things like that. But
so I have the list.
yeah,
Tim,
so that'll be entered in the drawing too.
Tim
so.
put like a tier thing, like the more they raise, the
Yeah.
more everybody raises for Marge's family, the more stuff sort of gets thrown in the pot to give away.
Yeah,
and
which is awesome.
it started out at like $100. It was always the Uncharted collector's coin, because like, I mean, Mike gave us this to give away, and then when Marge won it, like I figured this is what she would be okay with this. Like we can get some money for her family, and then somebody can have her very specific coin.
Yeah, for sure.
And then it was like a 12 Treasures t-shirt. Like nobody wants that. If you raised $200, what you did was the Leg Eater lamp. 400 was Ben Asen gift card. 500 was a signed copy of Origins. 750 was Arthur's ornament. 1,000 I didn't understand. It was a podcast interview with me. You could do that for free. That wasn't my idea. None of these were my ideas. 1,500 was open anniversary email hunt submissions for a week, which I figured the anniversary hunt people might like, since they've been complaining about that email submission being closed for a very long time now, but only for a week. I mean, but I figured like that's all it's going to take. Like you're only going to get one submission, so make it count. 2,000 was a black cover of the book, and then 3,500 was like, I answer a question honestly. Okay, I can do that.
No, I know what that is. That's not answer honestly. That's the one question. One question with George.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, the one that nobody knows about. Okay. The secret thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So apparently I have to answer a question honestly, which is fine. I can do that. It's fine. So yeah, that's what we're shooting for. They're gonna leave this open for like a week or 2, I think, but it's gonna take us that amount of time just to get Marge's family their information and get it put into GoFundMe, because like this isn't money that anybody here is gonna touch. This is going directly from, once you donate, it's going directly to her family, to her son, to help with expenses for whatever, like death is expensive, even when especially when you're not expecting it.
what's going to be huge is just at the drop of a hat. Marge didn't throw away nothing. She kept everything. She collected everything that in her condo. There is so much of Marge's belongings and stuff that her son is going to be. That's the last son at home that lived there with her, and having her just gone, not and he's going to be. He's going to walk in there, and everything there is his. It's his responsibility. All that stuff, he's going to have to completely clean that condo out.
Yeah.
And this is a kid that has never been away from mom. That's all he's ever known is home, mom. That can, and the bond that the two of them had together, and dealing with all this and the stress, just the weight that's going to be taken off his shoulders from this little bit of help is going to be it's going to make a difference. That it's a huge, huge difference. Probably more than you'll ever know. The little, what seems minuscule, like not that much to us, is going to be a world of difference in his life right now, and what he's going through and trying to deal with all at the same time.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a lot for them.
Yeah, that like
It's rough.
Yeah, man, it really is. Like you think like you're grieving and that's the worst they can get, and then bills come. And you're
Yes,
like, oh,
yes,
shit.
and that's one thing he might be able to sit back and take a breath and relax. Oh, that
Yeah.
at least until he's able to mourn. I'm sure he hasn't even been able to mourn. His younger brother flew in from California to be there with him. The youngest brother from Brooklyn as a home. They've got all this stuff to. I feel Alex probably hasn't even had a chance to sit down, breathe, and even more. I don't know. It means the world to me, more than any of you will ever know. And you all did to her too, more than you probably ever know. I mean, and she touches everybody too, but Marge is a different kind of soul, and people touch her in a deep, deep, deep way that.
Yeah, Deb and Chris just donated. They got to meet her in Boston as well.
Yeah, just to be able to try to do any little thing, like be some part of a blessing to her boys. Did you say all boys? 3 boys? 4
Yeah,
boys?
3 boys.
Yeah.
I want to say 25, 23, 17.
Oh, 17. Okay.
I owe Marge an air fryer. This is a weird fact. I owe Marge an air fryer. I don't remember what it was. We were talking on live stream once about an air fryer, and Marge was like, "I've never had an air fryer before," and I was like, "Well, you can have this one." And
this was the first year. This was the first year that we were involved in this, and I was kind of in the shadows, just watching her get involved with the community and get involved in all this. And it came around to the time of year when you were doing Secret Santas.
Yeah.
And I think you were doing Secret Santas, and she had just got involved or whatever, and names had all picked. And she piped in, she made a comment, well, I want a Secret Santa or something like that. And I think you recognize it and you go, well, you didn't get a Secret Santa? She's like, no, I just kind of joined or whatever. And you're like, well, I got a gift for you. And you talked about an air fryer. And I think this has been an ongoing thing since the first year that we were involved in this air fryer and trying to get together and make it happen. And you talked about it in Cleveland. We talked about it in Boston.
Yeah, she actually reminded me before Cleveland. She was like, pack up that air fryer. And I
yeah.
The thing's been sitting, legitimately sitting.
Live that down every time you saw her.
It sits next to, so 12 Treasures is a server in my house, and it's been sitting next to that server for a very long time. It's still sitting there.
It's so funny.
Yeah, that's awesome. And if you'd have gave it to her, it probably never got mentioned again. And just the fact that everywhere we went, even Louisville for John Michaels, getting together in Boston, in Cleveland, every time I saw you, I think she brought it up or made a point to mention it.
Oh my gosh, Tim, did you just Tim, why don't you say the amount out loud?
Yes, we're at 925 right now.
Oh
Wow,
my God.
GoFundMe.
that's crazy.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing, guys.
Community members are awesome.
I'm
That's
wearing
amazing.
my lovely Cleveland shirt from a certain somebody to
I
bring some good vibes.
Somebody wants that 1 week. That
Make
submission's open.
Make that 995.
Wow, that's so amazing, you guys. I remember when we were in Cleveland, and Tim kind of touched on it when he said like, Marge, like, okay, so everyone was lining up, and because like we had ideas of how we wanted Cleveland, like, you know, like we tried to think of everything ahead of time, but like Marge has to go first, like in the line to get things signed, because she has to get like pictures of everybody else. And so it was like, okay, so I go over there and I'm like, you got to go first. And she's like, I can't go first. Like, like everyone's already lined up. And, you know, she was already like buzzing around taking pictures. It's like, you got to go first because you got to take, everybody wants, you know, like everybody wants their picture. And she's like, okay, like that was the only way that I could talk her in to going at the beginning of the line, was so that she could then do something kind for
Yeah.
everybody.
That took a lot of persuading to get her to do.
Yeah,
Evie
I
was
did.
hiding
I
behind-
remember.
Evie was hiding behind a little sign or something that was
Yeah.
right at the table where Kit was sitting, kind of out of sight, hiding right there around the corner. And she
Yeah.
overheard me and you both trying to convince her, take a second before just walk up there. They'll know, you know, that.
Yeah. And it
Because
was
otherwise, she
planned.
would
It was
have gave up
planned
the
ahead
whole
of time.
opportunity to even talk to him, just to make everybody else's. And Evie, it took some prodding. It took you trying to tell her, and me nudging her, saying, "You know what,
Yeah.
Marge, do it." Because,
Yeah.
and then Evie's back there poking, and oh, fine, you know, and
Peer
but
pressure.
she did get their book
I was like, I
signed,
promise,
you
I'll
know,
tell
directly
everyone.
to her,
Guys,
and got to
like, I'll
take a
explain
second
it.
and sit right there and talk, and not feel like she was rushed before.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, the effort, the extra little things that you went out of the way to make it special for her is amazing.
Well, I mean, it was just like so amazing because like we were helping each other, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it did. It took her, like, I was like, no, you got it. And I was like, I'll tell everyone. I'll tell everyone. She's like, that doesn't mean anything. Like, it doesn't mean anything. Like, I'm like, everybody wants that.
Oh, they'll listen.
She felt like she was cutting in front of the line.
Yeah, she did, because she was busy already, you know,
Uh-huh.
taking pictures, and everyone had been, you know, and I was like, okay, guys, hey, listen, we're gonna let Marge go because she's gonna take your picture with JJP, and so everyone would have been fine with it anyway, but they were super fine with it after that, and but it was really sweet that she was like, no, and like, but you'll be helping everybody.
She never would have said a word, but after they did the wedding, and she sat and video,
Yeah.
took pictures of the whole thing, she looked through the lens of the camera trying to make all the pictures just perfect. I bet you she spent 60 hours sitting in front of her laptop with every single picture, editing every detail about every picture, making it perfect. When we got back that night after George and everybody got married, it touched her. She cried
George and everybody got married
because she didn't get to watch the wedding, to sit back and just watch the wedding, and to look in their eyes back and forth to everybody,
Yeah.
because she looked through a camera and snapped pictures and felt like she missed their wedding.
Oh, George, yeah, well, yeah. Oh, that's so sweet.
her art is now hanging in some very, very, very prominent secret people's houses. Because like she took a picture of, you know, that picture of Brian and Andy, or of Brian behind the wall in Cleveland doing like this.
Right.
She took me, Brian, Andy, and Rachel behind the wall, and we all did this, and we were all excited after the wedding. And she took a picture of that, and that became part of my gift to people who were in the wedding. Was just like, I still have a bunch. Like I don't think I sent one to Sunday. I don't think I sent one to Evie. But they're all right here next to the air fryer.
Nice.
But so now, like that photo she took it's sitting in John's living room. You know, it's sitting in Brian's living room and Andy's living room, which is kind of cool when you think about it. Like she looked up to these
that's
people and
way
they're
cool.
like, no, we're gonna hang up your art now.
And she shared all those photos. Like she put the link. Like there's a link that you can go look at all those pictures she took of documenting the entire relay.
She tried to like get a picture of everybody with John. I thought that was cool. Everybody in John's line. She tried to get a picture of everybody with.
She worked hard. Awesome. She was like a contortionist over there trying to get like a good angle because like, you know, it was between two tables. And I mean, she was,
And I remember like she was really kind because we were trying to find a photographer and we had Steven who was doing videography and it's like, I got to find a photographer for all of this. And then Marge said she'd do it. And I was like, okay, how much will you charge? And she's like, nothing. And I was like, no. That's not the way this works. Like we're going to pay you now. We had to force money upon her.
We did. Yeah, it was. She didn't know what to take. And I was like, are you kidding?
Yeah. And
I think finally I was like, George, because we were at the breakfast restaurant and you were getting stabbed. And you like, I was like, George asked me to bring this to you. I have this for you. And she's like, no, I don't want that. And I was like, what? He's not taking it back. And I'm sure not taking it. Like, you have to take it. Like, I mean, she's like, I'm not taking it. And I was like,
there it is.
Just use it for gas. Use it for something, you know, use it for, that's awesome.
Plus Tim. The car broke down, didn't it, Tim, on the way there?
Yeah, it did. It was a time probably financially when we shouldn't even been doing it. She would have not had it any other way.
I think like, and
Stephen Bryant, after this whole deal that you went through and as hard as it was to convince her to take that money.
Yeah.
Stephen Bryant, 5 minutes later, just kind of seen it all happen. Kind of was a little, I think he kind of knew that how much difference it made to her. And he came around and ended up not giving her a choice, but to take his money that he had for it too.
Yeah. Everything we gave Steven.
I don't know if he would be offended if I wasn't supposed to share that or what, but
I don't think Steven would.
The generosity, just the things like that I'm talking about is just overwhelming. The kindness that she received and the love from all of you.
She was a really good person. She just was. You know, she was really fun to be around and really kind.
I sure hope that she can see what you're doing for her right now and for her kids.
Yeah.
Or being able to know that her art is.
That's the coolest part. That's the coolest part. Like if when I die, if John's like, I'm gonna hang up one of George's paintings, it's fine. I'm good. That my life is that's fulfilled.
So just as an update, $1,370.
Shit, I'm gonna have to open this email.
Oh my god.
You know, I mean, we're here to honor Marge, but there's no but at the end of that. Like we're here to honor our friend, but it's so like amazing. The community is like, I know we're a Facebook group, and I know like we're like, but it's like we're on this big adventure together, and we come together, and it's just so great to see everybody come together. You know,
people are always like. I think someone even there's like a thing going on Facebook now where people are like, is George still involved in this? And people are like, George is going to be involved in this until all the casts are gone. And I like to say like, it's not really about the puzzle anymore. And I think this is true for a lot of people. Like we're not here necessarily because of some ugly flower pots in the ground anymore. You know, this is where our friends are. You know, this is where we hang out. This is our new mall.
Very much.
This is our mall of the 90s or whatever, you know?
Very much. It is different as all of us are in our own lives in worlds. The like-mindedness of the treasure hunting community that's in all of us, kind of in a sense that brought us all together in the first place it is a special thing. I don't know, the community, I would have never thought, but a group of people that treasure hunt together, and for you to help me, help her and her kids.
Do you know how bad other treasure hunts want our community? Just how fucking bad
How ugly it
they
is,
want our community.
and bitter and the bickering and fighting and like what I've seen very, very little bit that's almost discouraged you. I see so much of that in the other groups and communities. And yeah, now and since Marge has got involved with all you and I watched this and seeing the family environment, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's really nice.
I mean, there's something so special about being able to share ideas and this kind of wacky adventure and this, like
With
you
people
just,
that are passionate about it.
yeah. And I mean, there's something so special. Like when, I mean, it's a black, like it's really fun to find somebody who's on kind of sort of the same wavelength and talk about idea. But it's a freaking blast to find somebody that's open-minded enough to like debate a bit, you know what I mean? Like to kind of like go back and forth. And there's just something so, I don't know, it's like a meeting of the minds, you know what I mean? And then you've just kind of got this common passion, but it's like we're all rooting for each other still, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, so it's really something special.
It has been an adventure with Marge, for sure. Before I found out about the Milwaukee one, that seeing Josh Gaze, found out about The Secret at all, I traveled all over the place panning gold, mining diamonds in Arkansas, going to North Carolina, finding rubies, or going through the garment mines, or the different places, going up in the New England area and finding the different all the different gemstones, the things that was to offer, bringing my kids across the country panning gold. I met Marge. She got involved with me, started chasing gold across the country, and it was fun. That was what we did. That was our treasure hunting, or finding raw diamonds in the diamond mine in Arkansas. And along our travels, we happened to bump into The Secret in this treasure hunting. I don't think I've panned gold or prospected for diamonds. It kind of transformed me into a valueless treasure hunter. It's just kind of, what a difference.
Awesome.
I always think about the Finn treasure hunt. Like, how is the secret community different? Nobody's tried to kidnap anybody's grandkids.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna be cheesy for a second because it's me.
Do it.
This is every time I saw her bunny pictures and the Santa pictures,
Oh, wait,
it just makes me happy. So I've got my ears on now, and it may be weird, but
I can join you.
That's awesome.
I'll be back.
And then there's something like, I don't know what level. I've been told these are special, but I don't know. I have these Aragon cards.
Aw.
The 4 with the different dragons that was given to me by Mrs. Palancar, because I nicely took her to the bathroom. And for more, if you want to donate more, I'll let you touch the car seat, she said. But they have German on the back. It's all 4 dragons.
Wow.
That and being weird is about what I've got to offer. Besides weird stories of people eating your breakfast.
Nice.
So, yeah,
that's amazing, Evie, because George would have to tell us, but I think those are like really rare, right?
I don't know.
Yeah. like really rare.
They are.
I'm like, I have little postcard things. I'm like, I don't know. So, we need more ears. Where's George?
I think George is getting his ears or a funny hat. So what are we up to, Tim? Like, what are we?
Okay, those are better.
I can't.
Oh my
Mine don't move, and I can't even hold my iPad to make it like an actual good picture.
Oh, okay, so right now George has to open up the 1 week submission because we're above 1,500.
Uh,
Uh-huh. Oh, that's gonna be crazy.
yeah.
That's gonna be a fun week, George. You're gonna get like
Can I do
I don't
it
know how
after
many people,
Easter?
like 700 emails. Because everyone
That's
in the group
that's
is now
awesome.
going to send an email since they only have one shot at
Yeah.
it.
Hey, that
You are wonderful, George. That is very
That's-
nice of you to do.
I try.
sadly I
Hey,
can't send you
guys.
that special the honey whiskey or whatever, the maple whiskey from Canada
Oh.
yet, because our first attempt failed. But we're gonna keep trying.
Is it tariffs or whatever? You can't smuggle it across the border.
Well, no, my contact went to the store and it was closed.
Oh. That's-
So, but there will be more attempts
okay.
secretly because
Hey, I hate to get off here when you guys are doing this and for Marge but the circumstance I'm in right now,
Sure.
Yeah.
where
that's
I'm
fine.
at,
Yeah.
I'm at my ex-wife's house who's had 2 aneurysms and is going through hell and she's losing her house. She has to be vacated out of this house by the 25th of the month. We've been divorced for 20 years. We were married for 20 years. I'm trying to get her vacated out of this house, trying to help her as much as I can too. I haven't really had time really to even mourn or anything, but I am busy. I feel
It's
guilty
fine.
that I've sat down this long. I
It's fine.
really need to get out of here because I got like a week to have her completely moved out of this house.
That's fine, man. But thank you. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
Right,
I'm
right.
sure Marge would
I
appreciate it.
appreciate you guys. I do. You've touched our lives in a way that I will keep with me for the rest of my life. I will. And the kindness you gave to Marge, the
We'll keep it going, dude. It's fine. Don't worry about
right
it.
on, right on.
All right,
Right,
man.
and I know Alex, her son, he's probably overwhelmed that this is happening from people that he doesn't even know that he thought was silly that we were traveling the country doing all this, and to watch you come back and do this for him, I'm sure he's just about beside himself.
Testament to
You're
how
amazing. You
special.
are, all of you. All of you.
well, now I gotta take this off because it's just weird.
Right.
Well,
Right.
yeah, we're all thinking of, you know.
Yeah, man. Have a good night.
Yeah,
Try to
yeah.
get
Thank
some
you, guys.
rest.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for everything you do for the community, for Marge, what you're doing. Thank you, George.
You're welcome. I didn't do this. This was all Sunday, Tim, Evie. This was all them. I'm just
Right,
here.
right. It is. And Sunday is a person that she didn't have to say a word.
Well,
If Marge was watching, if there's a podcast and Sunday's face popped up, it would make this giddy smile would come over Marge's face, and there's like Cole. They interacted a little bit, but the smile on his face, just the realness in him and the words that he said in his smile, it was the same way. I don't know if you're listening, Cole, or whatever. We've never really talked, but you touched Marge in a way too that it was hard to explain. You didn't have to say a word. If you was on there, just your quirky, your something about you, it lit her up and made her smile all the way to her soul. Sunday was the same way. There's a few that I don't know what it was about you, but it was so nice to watch her light up, interacting with you in the silliest little.
that's really sweet.
You're amazing. You are.
I mean, I want everybody to know, like, anytime that somebody says my name on one of these streams, it's like it's me, it's Evie, it's Tim. Like, we ride all together. It's
Yeah,
we're just right there with it. Like, yeah, like
right. But I don't know.
goes.
There's just some people that their natural energy, they don't have to speak, they don't have to say a word, just their presence lights up a room or something. And there's a few of you that it was outstanding. Like unnatural, kind of the way that you affected her.
She was really, really.
Right, right. And Evie's being so close and Marge being so familiar. I bet you in the last 2 years, I bet you we've driven past Flint up towards the Thumb area. I'll bet you 20 times, and I'll bet you every single time we got in the neighborhood, she picked up her phone and said, "I'm going to see anyway." It never works out, but in the chance that she's home and I can swing by and have a cup of coffee with her, and I bet you she got excited and tried 100.
Yeah.
It was
Especially
amazing that.
on the weekends. I'm like, come here, right here.
Right. Or we'd be on our way to film a graduation on the other side of Flint or something, and her only thought was, I wonder if it's going to be the right timing that I'll be able to stop and have a cup of coffee with Evie this time. And
Yeah.
amazing. All right, I really, really do got to go. I'm going to get off here, and this is the first one I can say I've never been on a podcast for it. I was absolutely impressed. I'll bet you I watched for 20 minutes trying to figure out how I even didn't realize I had to have an app in my phone that would allow me to
It's
right
cool.
on.
I'm glad you came in. Thank you.
Yeah. So am I. That I took the time to sit down away from what I'm doing, and you guys mean the world to me. You do.
All right. Well, have a good night.
Yeah. Thanks again. I'm sure I'll see y'all again.
You have to click end on your end though. To leave. Or unless you want me to kick you, I can do that.
Gotcha.
If you don't know how to. Oh, okay. Cool. That was nice.
That was nice.
Yeah.
I feel like Evie, Tim, and I need one of those combo relationship names. You know how like Benifer or
Denise, Sunday.
Yeah.
What's really funny is like Sunday is lagged. Have you noticed that, Evie?
Oh.
Yeah, it's so
Oh,
funny
my internet.
because she'll be like
It was really
talking and her mouth is
fast.
like
Moving and words are coming out.
yeah, it's awesome. And then when she's quiet, she's like,
You must.
Did you read my lips? No.
it's
The only
awesome.
thing we would need is for the little kiddos to jump in and say hi, because we haven't gotten to see you guys in a long time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, me. Oh, she just came when I turned off the camera. Is when they came to say goodnight. Yeah, you guys give me way too much credit, because we all roll together. There's not really a move that happens. That's so I don't know, but
I can't believe I gotta open up email submissions.
oh, you're gonna love
You
that.
do? Oh, I
I love that. Evie, how many members are in the group now? Like
It doesn't matter. They're all gonna get their friends to send
all
emails.
people wanted. And I know George has been getting emails this whole time and just not responding. And now it's just going to be like,
Yeah.
I haven't even looked at the emails. I don't know how many unread emails I have, because I did for a while have people who were. Let me go look. I did for a while have people who were like, I know you're still reading these, and I want you to know that I know the answer.
I know that you know.
It's
I feel like I don't know why, but
There are no lie.
Yeah. Okay.
217 unread emails in this account.
Okay.
that's it.
Let's say
217.
let's say bets on how many
like-
you're gonna get.
Compared to Rachel's emails backlog, I feel like yours is very low.
Mhm.
And I almost feel like, and I'm going to negate this by going like this. People should send them anyway, just for fun, just to make your email.
I'm gonna click
amount.
select all.
Yeah, you're gonna
Oh,
Delete.
you're gonna have to move it and just look for the certain date and whatever.
I'm gonna have to.
I feel
select
like
all of
we're gonna
the
have to
items.
do some
okay.
live streams doing alcohol or other
Nice.
kind of.
Man,
90% of these are from the same person.
those
All right, they're all
anniversaries
gone.
are so funny. Okay. So George, make an end time, like an exact minute when it ends, whatever 1 week would be.
Okay. I can do
And
like a
then
timer.
if someone guesses the right number of emails, we should do something.
Well, like open it up for another week. I'm not doing that.
No, no, God, no.
No.
I don't know, like send him a button or something.
I can make a timer. I can make Pike put one on the anniversary hunt right now.
Yeah.
Let's see. When do we want to open it? We can open it tomorrow.
No,
For
let's
a
open
week.
it.
There's gonna be
No,
more.
Let's open it when
time
you.
for
Well, I'm not going to answer any of them until like the last day or two.
Well,
So
Easter will be the deadline for the giveaway. So why don't we do it the Monday after Easter? You open it up, and then for that 1 week.
all right. So okay. So that'll
Oh,
be
you're gonna
it's
make.
21st.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Wait until the end.
Control
Yeah,
the
I'll-
influence.
I'll go to the
Yeah.
anniversary. So what I'll do is I'll go to the anniversary page on 12 Treasures, wherever you find the poem and stuff, and I'll just put a timer up on that Monday,
Yeah.
and it'll just count down. And then when the timer's over, it stops. And that's when I'll answer emails. After it's over, I'll answer them. How's that?
Do you want to put conditions on the email submissions, one per person?
Yeah, it's the
and-
same. It's the same as before.
What was
Just
it?
do
Within
this-
5 feet, kind of thing. Was that what we?
You
1
should
foot?
no, you should be able to be much, much, much closer than that.
Okay.
Like the condition was always, you got to give me the exact spot. I feel like I should say and why, or other people will just be like, because I imagine they're gonna have a week to plan this, so they're gonna make like a grid, and everybody's gonna be like, you're assigned foot A7. So I think that'll be my condition. You should be able to tell me where and why.
That could be a very coordinated effort if say the peoples got together and they did their map thing and says, okay, you get this one, this, and everyone submits a separate spot.
Yeah, but if
That
you
would be
can't tell me
very
why,
deep.
that it doesn't
Well, no,
matter.
but I'm just saying, it'd be very
Because, like-
devious to actually plan it out.
Well, when we were doing this, I liked the fact that that people had to send like their ideas. They had to take time to write shit out, because I could at least tell if they were on the right track, and I could read like the first 4 sentences and know if they were going to be in the right spot or not. So the and why, that should be important, because it'll tell me if they're guessing.
So as to Sunday's comment about someone chooses or answers correctly about the number, maybe that would be the person. You do an additional one where the person gets to go on and explain their theory for the anniversary hunt.
See,
Okay.
this is how community minded we are. We're
You guys are like, let's
trying
give
to
George
get it.
more work.
I have a great
trying to help our
I have a
friends.
great question that could be asked at that one level, where you get the one ask George a question thing, and I've got like the perfect question that I sent it in our little group chat
Christian
because I
bookstore
don't want to
because
put it out
George-
there. I feel like someone needs to come up with it on their own, but
Dave said it's at the Christian bookstore because George enjoyed getting yelled at by Marilyn Manson haters. That's funny. There was a Christian bookstore in Anderson, though. It's gone now.
oh, I would like to point out that Kathy
I used to buy
Kathy
Nintendo
Bale.
games there.
Bale tried the vampire penguin for me the other day, and sadly, it was not as exciting as
Where is this vampire penguin place?
They're all over. Well, the one in Anderson closed
Oh,
because
there's one in Anderson.
yeah,
There was.
but it's a chain.
Oh,
Of course, not anywhere near me because I'm the one that wanted to try it. But in the South and all that, it's out there. It's kind of like
yeah.
Dunkin' Donuts, but not for me, sadly. But it wasn't. She was not impressed. Her husband did not look impressed. The children were not impressed. So now I can let it go and hook myself on a different dessert that I want to try.
All right. That's cool. Should just go to Skins. I feel like if everybody if that's
me.
what we could eat for the rest of our lives, we'd be fine.
Well, there's a bunch of hot dog places there. It's not even just like the
In
land of
Anderson?
skins. There's a couple.
No.
Yeah.
Apparently
No, there's
only
one. There's one. There's one hot dog place in Anderson, and then there's a bunch of people who like want to
There's
be that
more.
one.
Well, yes, that's what I'm
But they
saying.
can't be. They're not. There's only one. If you tell if you go find somebody in Anderson and you be like, you want to get hot dogs, you're going to one place. We are passionate about our hot dogs.
Not that. What was the one that I saw that was by a railroad track, but that, like the name, like the picture, the logo, I was like, oh, this is like really, it like Skins is a normal name compared to what that one was called.
Yeah.
A little on the risque side, and
it's probably like there's a bunch of them. Like hot dogs were trendy for a while, and there were people who were like, you can get this hot dog with cucumber, and then Skins is like, you made a plain hot dog with mustard and chili, and that's all you get, and you're gonna be happy.
and onions.
Maybe if you're a good boy, you can have a Coke.
And the plain normal chips. It's kind of like the cheeseburger SNL skit, but
The place used to be owned by this dude. It started by the guy named Skin Thrasher, or I guess that was his name. That's what we called him, Skin Thrasher.
Oh.
This is the meanest man. Best fucking hot dogs in the world, though.
made with anger.
It was like soup Nazi, but hot dogs. No skins for you.
1 year.
Speaking of Skins, that makes me think of that thing you bought today. Sorry, that's off topic.
Every time my friends come down from Anderson, I make them bring me like 30 of those fucking things. And then I eat them for a
remember
week.
when you posted pictures of that one time when James, is it James?
Yeah,
it came down for like Thanksgiving or something. You're like, Thanksgiving dinner has arrived.
We like one year Rachel didn't understand, and this was like early in our relationship. I was like, let's go get hot dogs, and it was the same. Like I did this with her on New Orleans too. I was like, let's go get hot dogs, and she's like, okay, and I was like, pack a bag. She's like, why am I packing a bag?
Oh my god.
We drove to Anderson and we had hot dogs and they were very good. So anyway,
So do they reheat well is what you're saying?
do they what?
Reheat well? Or
No.
do you go garbanzo and eat
No.
30? And
No, you've got to eat them hot. It's weird because like they make them and they steam the buns in beer and all kinds of stuff. So when you get them, they're like soggy, and that's the best. But if you like let them sit out, they dry out. So James, when he visits and brings them, he has this cooler that keeps the moisture in. So they
That's
stay
a friend
soggy.
right there.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
moist, soggy buns is not
Yeah.
something that I would.
No, put them in your mouth. Put the moist, soggy buns in your mouth. All the wieners. We have
You
the
can't
best
do this
wieners.
to my 12-year-old boy's sense of humor. You can't say this.
I want to ask you all about your New Orleans trip, but then I want to also ask you about like the new
No more talking about wieners, huh?
okay.
Wieners, no buns.
What about my New Orleans trip?
I wanted to ask you all about it, like, because I haven't talked to you guys in forever, and so I haven't heard any of like the fun festivities that I missed out on. But then
It was a lot of fun. We got to
Yeah.
walk in a parade, man. I got to like
And
walk
that's
with
so
the
cool.
Indians, the original Chapachula. I don't even know how to pronounce their name, but like I have their albums because
Yeah.
well, their album. And I forgot to bring it and have it signed. But
Oh.
I was all like, because I walked up to the chief and I was like, I have your album. Like, I like your music. And he's like,
Oh, huh.
it's like, that was a joke. Like, we didn't.
Oh,
I was like, well, you should put out another one. It'd be really
That's
funny. Do it.
right. That's awesome. Yeah, because you guys got to go see Rebecca, right?
Yeah.
Or like hang out.
Rebecca,
Yeah, that's cool.
Erica, the Chapmans were there. There was
Oh yeah, the Chapmans.
decent amount of
Oh my
people that showed up.
gosh. They're the
So,
best.
It was a lot of fun. Chapmans didn't walk in
Yeah.
the parade though. That sucked.
I'm
But New
just
Orleans knows how to do parades, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. I'm assuming. I miss them. I really man, they were the greatest. Like we hung out a lot in Cleveland.
The Chapmans?
Yeah.
They're going on the cruise. Come on the cruise.
I can't go on the cruise, but that would be cool. Yeah.
Everybody's like, I can't go on the cruise. I don't understand why. All you got to do is like,
Money and
Why
small
did-
children means you have no money.
man,
Yeah.
just
That
keep
would be the
small
thing for me is
children
the
away.
Like for a week.
Sell the children and go on a cruise. It
yeah.
is. It's
No, that would
expensive.
be it. It sounds really fun. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
almost went to the last one. We were going to be roomies, and then we got Then we thought about it. Yeah, we can afford that.
Yeah.
So then we were using Cleveland instead.
Tara Chapman is now saying that you guys should come on the cruise. Just so
I know. I want to. Heck, I just want to go to New Orleans. I was so bummed out that I couldn't go because it's like 4 hours away from me.
Yeah,
when I saw it on the post, I know. I was like, when I saw the post, I was like, God, I am there. I cannot wait. And then like life happened and I had to like adult and things like that.
Adulting sucks.
Life sucks.
It's getting better, but yeah. So, but yeah.
Erica says she gets seasick.
Yeah, that was the other thing, especially when
Yeah.
you guys said it was bad last time. So if I would have gone on the last one, I would have been throwing up.
Well, this one was different because it's longer. It goes deeper out into sea, so it's
also longer torture. That's great.
Yeah. What you do to combat the seasickness is you get the drink package and you just
that's what I was about to say. I can't tell if it's the ocean or just me. That's my cruise strategy.
Yeah, just stay plastered all the time. You get with the drink package, you get 15 drinks max every day. Just max that shit out.
Oh my God, I'll die.
So my bag of tricks would have to have a lot of those. The bags you get on an airplane if you're going to get sick. I'd have to bring those for all of you guys. Is what you're saying?
No,
So,
you get so drunk you don't get sick. That's a legit thing. Just get so drunk you don't get sick. I mean, what do you're on a boat. Nothing's going to happen. It's fine.
Oh, jeez. But Sunday and I are always the adults in the room. So, well, I can't. Sunday got a little toasty. But
I did.
You know.
I was really good that first night in Cleveland because I was like, I have work tomorrow. Basically, is what I thought. That second night, oh my God. And Kathy Vale tried to tell me, she's like, are you already done with the drink that you just ordered? And I was like, well, it had a lot of ice. But no, really, those cocktails that they made, the signature cocktails in the second place. What was I forget what the name of the place was, much less the cocktails, but
the glitter was insane.
I wish I could have went there.
I had to leave early because I had
ditched me.
I did not pace myself. Let's just say. But yeah. So hey, tell us about the photo archive.
Oh, well, I did that in the beginning. Did I do that?
Oh, you did?
I don't even remember. There's a photo archive. So it's people wanted a place to put photos and then wanted places to be able to see historical photos. So I built one, and it's photos.12treasures.com. And you can make an account there, and you can upload all of your stuff and tag it and put it. It's crazy. There's a link on the Facebook page. If people use it, it will be good. But right now, there's. I figured in order to get people to use it, I needed to give them a benefit. So right now, there's a lot of stuff on there that people have never seen before, ever. And people are always like, "Where can I watch the Expedition Unknown episodes?" You can do it there. All kinds of stuff that nobody's ever seen before. So, there. I just put my photo album up, basically.
Slick. That is so cool. Oh my God. Okay, so I was about to say I was looking for a picture today that I really wanted to put on about Houston. That was like the last picture that I was super excited about. And I think Matt Sparks and Steve Yoakum and I were talking about it, like, but everybody was always kind of like, where was the water fountain in the Houston Children's Zoo? I'm in Houston, so that's why I'm like Team Houston. But then like they found a picture of it, and then you can just see like the top of the fountain. And so I was like, that was the last picture that I got super excited about seeing, and I was trying to find it today to put on there. But you may have already put it on.
I can't remember who it was, if it was Matt or if it was Mark, who told me that those were always mobile, that they could move them around. But I can't imagine that's true because they're on like concrete pads.
Yeah.
You can't move a concrete pad. Like the fountain may be mobile. Like they may have not bolted it down.
But how often are you going to move that?
Yeah. How often are you going to move it?
Yeah.
If it's on a concrete pad.
Yeah.
So
without special tools.
Yeah, I don't know.
And a permit.
There were questions. I There was a question about the secret. Do you guys want to answer a question about the secret? We could get your
I
opinion.
mean, I don't know if we're qualified, but
Yeah,
we
sure.
can try.
What was the
Yes,
question?
I do. Let's see. He was Alan. I don't want to say his name wrong. Humans.
Yeah.
Do you think it's possible to not guess and know if you've solved one of these puzzles?
Well, you won't know unless you go dig and it's there.
Yeah, but I think he means to not guess about like methodology and stuff. And my answer to that question would be, if you're guessing, you're wrong, because nobody's had to guess before. And in fact, all of the stuff that's sort of mutually agreed upon by everybody, there's no guesswork involved. I would think if you're guessing, you're on the wrong path. And like,
And if you
what's
get-
the
you're
point of
really-
working on a puzzle that doesn't have an answer, that doesn't require you to guess? Like, how horrible would that puzzle be?
I personally think yes. I think it's possible. And I mean, like, I have absolutely nothing to back that up, other than just like I feel like there is an answer, and I feel like once you figure it out, then everything kind of. I mean, I know that. I don't know. Personally, I think along the lines of kind of yes, and once you're, because he had to put them somewhere. So I think probably within like I think you could find one of these things with going probing at your spot if you've solved it, if that makes sense. If that's an answer. Yeah.
I hate the excuse. Like, I think the one thing that I hate in The Secret the most is the excuse, oh, the ones that were solved were easy and these are the hard ones. The ones that are left are hard. Because like before Cleveland, nobody used that excuse, right? We just didn't really know. We didn't really know how they were solved. So we were like, all right, let's work on it. Then when Cleveland was solved, we were like, oh, this is the exact same way that Chicago was done. And then like they never used the excuse, maybe these are the easy ones. And then people started overthinking the puzzle and people started going off into left field and doing weird shit. And that's the people who were like, oh, the two that were solved are the easy ones. And these get way harder. And then Boston was solved. And it was like, oh, that's dumb. That's like dumb. And now everybody's like, but those three were the easy ones. And the rest are hard. Like,
I personally think if you work Chicago from scratch, that's hard. Like, it's not.
It is if you're not there. Like, if you don't know.
Yeah.
If you don't
Yeah.
know. Like, if you don't know M and B is 2 words on a random freaking building, that's hard.
Yeah. But I do like that about the puzzle, that you could have some things wrong and still find it. But yeah, I think Chicago is hard. Personally, I think, and I don't know if this is like a really popular opinion or not, but I think they're on a continuum, and I think some of the paintings hold a whole lot of clues, and some of the paintings have super vague clues, and some of the same thing for the verses. Like some of the verses hold, and I think maybe Cleveland, I mean not Cleveland, Chicago, and Chicago was pretty balanced.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you had that verse and that painting, and you're in the right spot, you're gonna eventually find it. Like it sucks that it was kind of like in the middle of a grassy area, and you had to kind of like whatever triangulation you had to do to get it. But if you have that verse and that painting, you're finding that thing. Yeah. But then in Cleveland, it's like you couldn't have found it without the verse, obviously. But I mean, that painting is like a gold mine. I mean, like you are in the right spot. You've got to find, use the verse to find it. So I don't know. That's kind of my thought.
Let me ask you a question, because it pertains to what you just said. Let's think about Chicago for a second, right? Okay. Let's think about kind of how vague it is. I mean, once we know the answers, then fine, it works.
Right.
But if you don't know the answers, you can fit most of that anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
So
for sure.
That tells me that if the puzzle's so vague that you could fit it anywhere, then it's not exact. Like Byron could have used different words and made that puzzle exact if he cared enough to do that.
Sure,
then,
but I
and then
think
so here's the thing. So all
yeah.
through this path, you have non-exact wordage and stuff that could fit anywhere.
Well, it's a
And then
puzzle,
you get to the end, and people are all of a sudden like, "Oh, now's when he uses the exact words. Now's when he uses math." Like instead of just being like, "No, the end is kind of shitty too." Like there's
I don't know.
there's
I
no
don't
way to
know.
tell.
I think
have a head because they can
I mean,
recognize stuff.
but keep going to Cleveland, where you follow the verse to the letter and you end up on the wrong side of the planner because he put that much thought into it. And then you get to
Yes.
Boston and you're like, where in the ball field? I don't know.
Well, I will say Chicago is my very favorite, and one of my most favorite things that I've ever done in The Secret was do a deep dive on Chicago with grading, because damn, that was fun. And I personally think we need to Jesus, I've been out of this a long time. Like, what is the ground penetrating radar? We need to GPR that corner, and we need to figure out where the big freaking hole was, and then that puts us X on exactly where it was, because we're gonna know like where, because they dug a big ass hole, right? So like,
But they dug like a lot of them.
Yeah.
No, they said, Tim said, Rob's brother said that they were basically always digging in that same spot. They just dug a lot in that same spot.
I just missed that size area.
Maybe you could do it. Maybe that'd be interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I really think, remember you did it on St. Patrick's Day. Remember when you had Rob on for St. Patrick's Day?
Yeah.
That was the best. It
was good to get, like, because you can't challenge Rob, right? Like you just can't.
Right.
Like it's because it's Rob. You don't. But having someone else who was there be like, no, Rob, that's not. No, we did this, and it was. And then having both of them work together to remember exactly what. Yeah, it was great.
Yes, that was magic. That was freaking magic. And then, but yeah, it's 40 years ago. Like we have to, even when we talk about when we talk about this stuff every day, we have to look back at the verse to quote the verse. Like we have to look back. We're like, okay, hold on, let me look at this up. Like, let me make sure I'm saying it right or whatever. So like, yeah, 40 years ago, of course. But yeah, I really think we need GPR in that back corner, and it'll at least settle a bet between Graydon and I.
Someone else in the comments is saying that Boston was the searcher's fault and not Byron's. But Cleveland wasn't, and Chicago wasn't. Like, none of these are exact. None of the ones that are found are exact, and they all took luck. And now we're all like, well, we got to use more advanced geometry is what we got to do. I'm like, no, dude, they're just not
Just
great.
because of the Euclid things in Cleveland. But Sunday, I would like to point out that even if it's less than 40 years, sometimes people can't find stuff that they've buried in their own yard.
Oh my God. Are you calling me out, Evie?
Oh, I'm totally calling you out. Have you found that thing yet?
I buried a Tupperware in my front flower bed in a spot that I thought was a very distinct spot. And I cannot find
You're not the first to do that. A lot of people have tried.
That's exactly what I mean. Like, go out and try it. It's hard to hit the right spot. Yeah.
And it's under her mulch and it's by edging, but she put it there. You need to try to do and take pictures of everything before you disturb it. So you know where.
I mean, I know, like, so I have like the 4-foot probe, and I know it's within that 4 foot. You know what I mean? Or whatever. So I put that on like the little landscaping rocks. I was like, I know it's in here. Like it's in this zone right here. I cannot find this damn thing. And I did it like 6 inches under the ground. And and I mean, I forget about that. Every time I kind of think about it, then I'll go out and like probe for like half an hour. And my husband's like, we got shit to, like, what?
Yeah. But like, what gets me is like the people that do this precise location thing, they don't think about practical stuff. Like, let's say Byron lined up 2 things and then you went to the center of those 2 things and he dug a hole. Well, unless he was very exact and dug it straight down, because you never dig a hole straight down. It always goes to the left or the right or front or back. Like, it's always going to be off. You're going to be off by like a foot. So I don't know. I don't get it. Never, like, it seems to me that people, I don't know, they make things way too complicated. like maybe for their own benefit, maybe, I don't know. But to answer the beginning question, if you have to guess, you're way off track. Just way off track.
I stick with, I think if you're right, then you could probably hopefully find it with probing. However, I don't know if people know how freaking hard it is to probe.
Well, I don't think that's what he meant. I think he meant like in their theories. Like if you have to guess, like I think this means this, or this is what I think that's what he means. If you have to make logical leaps in your theories.
Yeah.
You could have a lucky guess, but I mean, what are the odds?
I mean, there was a construction crew in Boston that got real lucky.
I do totally agree that they've all taken luck. I mean, Chicago, they gave up and the little pat of dirt like slid down. And then in Cleveland, basically at wit's end, giving up, and then tried the other end, you know, and then Boston, like obviously found with the backhoe or whatever, you know.
But that leads to the important question. Like, did it take luck because they didn't know everything with the puzzle? Or did it take luck because Byron didn't spend enough time narrowing everything down with the puzzle? And given that I look at Masquerade, right? Masquerade was full of flaws. And Kit Williams worked on that thing for like 2 years. One singular puzzle for 2 years. And Byron worked on 12 in 1 year. Yeah. So what is more, and like it's not like he was cooking up this idea for a decade or whatever. He just got Sean Kelly's book and was like, oh, let's do this with Masquerade. Like Masquerade was popular right then. You know, he had just gotten the inspiration to do this when he did it. So he did these 12 puzzles in a year. How much, like I spent 6 months on the anniversary on it, and this kind of sucks. Like, I can imagine 12 puzzles in a year, they're really going to suck. So,
I mean, I think for sure we could all agree that I think Byron underestimated how freaking hard it is to find something once it's under the ground, especially once it's way under the ground. Like that's impossible. Like if you've ever gone out probing, like, I mean, you basically have to probe like a 4-inch grid, or you know what I mean? You might as well not even have like probed that area or whatever. But yeah, so I think he definitely, and then, you know, like another thing is like, it was his first puzzle. So I'm sure there's things that had he ever wanted to do another one, he would have totally done different. You don't know how it's going to work until, you know, unless you test it. Yeah.
I wish that the people who put all of this time and effort into trying to find these weird logical leaps, and I say weird and I shouldn't, the people that put all this time into trying to find logical leaps between things and inspiration for whatever, and these far out clues, I wish that they would take half of that time they spent and just consider the probability of Byron having the time to do all of that. You know, Byron...
Sure. That's a good point.
Like, Byron's a smart guy, but he's not a genius. You know, he's not a master puzzle maker. He never made a puzzle before. He never made a puzzle after. This was one project he spent about a year on. Maybe it's not, like, God's gift to treasure hunting. Maybe you just need to focus a little more on effort and not, like, connecting strings. Do you know what I'm saying?
There's definitely an argument that could be made for that. I mean, if it takes 3 months to look all this stuff up, then it wouldn't really be feasible for him to have taken 3 months to build, you know what I mean? To look it all up, to build it. Yeah.
And take lovely, you know, Polaroids for the paintings to be made from, because those are such high quality Polaroids.
Simon Baldwin made another comment that Byron did a great job, to be fair, from his Solves perspective. But from Cleveland, Chicago, and Boston's Solves perspective, he didn't do such a great job. You know?
Well, Edie brought up...
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Edie brought up one of my favorite things that came out of, like, kind of working on the puzzle, and it was Graydon's idea, but he was like, kind of like the Polaroid test. Mm-hmm. It's like, if you're going to take, so we know he took Polaroids of each dig spot, like while it was like freshly turned earth, right? I think. And So if you're going to take a Polaroid, we know we can visualize, or at least some of us of a certain age can visualize
That's
like
for my
what
teacher.
was what could be in the field of a Polaroid, a photo of a Polaroid.
Yeah,
So you have to
that's
figure out, like, he has to have something in that Polaroid as a landmark that will then, you know what I mean, that serves as a landmark that you
Yeah.
can work off of to then, find that thing again or whatever. So I kind of really love that idea as like a test, for your theory. Like, hey, could you take a Polaroid of this spot? And if it's like, yeah. So I don't know. I kind of liked.
Alan followed up with, should we know for a fact that we solved something before we have a cast? I don't think you should. I just think, like, you should weigh probability,
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Just weigh the probability.
Yeah.
And I think that would solve so much within the community. Like, there's so much just I'm not trying to pick on anybody, but I don't know how to describe it. There's so much just bullshit that's thrown around, where even the basics of the puzzle, new people don't get. Like the immigration groups, new people don't understand that just because of how much bullshit gets thrown around.
But I also think, like, a lot of it is fantasy, right? Like, the book is fantasy or whatever. So, like, I mean, I think there's different personalities when it comes to this. So, like, some just enjoy. I guess, was it Chris that said, like, the dopamine hit? You know what I mean? Like, you're just like, oh my gosh, because if you go looking for connections, you are going to find connections. Like, that's just the way the universe works. But yeah, I feel like my favorite thing to do was to study Chicago and Cleveland, and of course Boston as well later, because I came in about like a year after Boston was solved. But my favorite thing was just to study the hell out of those. And there's not a lot of library time. There's not a lot of, your boots on the ground, and you got your book and your boots, kind of thing. Like, that's kind of my kind of idea about it. But I don't know. Like, I feel like I can think of a few people who are like, we got to solve this. Like, none of this solves this. And then some people who are like, I don't care if it solves, like, I'm having a blast finding, the connection between the 12. I'm having a blast finding, like, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, I mean, yeah.
Well, locals definitely have a head up because they know the area. Once you realize that there's onion domes and lion statues and the rose church windows everywhere. I mean, you have the aha.
We're out.
Like, oh, yeah, I can't go by that.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
Yeah. Agreed. That's a really good point.
Do you immediately stop listening to someone when they tell you that they solved a city?
Yeah.
Yeah. I immediately stopped listening. And I think, I'm not trying to say that to, because there's a couple of people that have been like, I solved, mainly Charleston, in the comments. And I'm not trying to say that to insult them, but I feel like that people don't understand that we're not unique in this community. 99% of the community, when you're like, I solved New York, everyone stops listening to you.
Yes. Well, not only that, but everyone has solved it.
Yeah, it's so, because
that's the thing, I think.
God, you can't count how many people have come into this group and immediately like, I've solved all of them, and I'm going to prove it to you in 2 weeks, and then you never hear from them again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even people that don't like go out and make a post or just, like, about I solved them or whatever. Like, we all have a best guess. We all think, but there's something so powerful. And I guess because I'm really lucky that I live in like a secret city that I've been able to like go boots on the ground in the park, even though it's Houston and it's probably not there anymore. But it's something so powerful about like being absolutely 100% sure and going out and getting your ass kicked, like getting in the dirt and being like, nope, this ride home's going to be a lot longer than it was to the park.
I don't understand like the balls it takes for somebody to say that though. Like,
What?
I think about
Well, but there's an
saying,
excitement factor, though.
yeah, but still, like I think about San Francisco, right? San Francisco was one of the most talked about cities in The Secret,
Yeah.
right? Like the coins that Mike put out. If he had put these out a couple of years ago, and he didn't ask, but if he would have asked, like, what city should I start out with to make the most profit?
Yeah.
San Francisco,
Yeah.
because it's the most
Sure.
popular. It's the one most people talk about, and we put out that Fairmont solution.
Yeah.
And everybody shut the fuck up. You didn't hear shit about San Francisco anymore. Everybody was just like, damn. And
Yeah.
still, not one of the people involved had the balls to be like, we solved it.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
None of us.
That genie lamp being like right there across
But
the
so,
street,
like-
and like in the painting is pretty.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't get the balls for people who are like, if you count these things in the painting, they add up to 5. And then we go to 5 King Street, and here's this planter box we have to dig in, and I solved it. I don't get it.
But I mean, I've been on the other end of that too, though, because like I remember, like I did all the things. I did all the annoying things. Like
Yeah.
I used to get my feelings hurt when somebody commented on my post, and it was like, what? How can you? That wasn't positive. And then I'm like, I don't even remember who it was. I think it was Matt Sparks. Oh, God, I love Matt Sparks. He
can be brutal.
No, but well, he can if you're an asshole to him.
That's true.
But
yeah.
Everything he freaking said, I feel like he's the most misunderstood because everything he says, he just says it as like a neutral comment instead of like, and I feel like people like read it like, but he is one of the greatest because he will go on an adventure with you. He will like sit there and he'll be like, okay, let's think this out. If this is true, then what? You know what I mean? And he'll just like go down and go down and go down like the rabbit hole with you. And he's just like, well, you know what I mean? So I think I kind of, and, but I did all the things. I thought I solved it in like an hour from my house while EU is playing in the background, only to realize like none of that shit was there until like 2001. Like it did all the things. So, I mean, I think a lot of it is excitement and, and stuff. But I think if I could give everybody like the biggest advice that has helped me and turned like this whole thing into like a super enjoyable like community, of like friends and stuff, it would be just like read the comments neutral. Like they're just neutral. You know what I mean? Or if someone's asking you a question, they're just curious. They're not like being an asshole.
Matt,
People should
Yeah,
be a little bit more neutral.
Me and Matt had a comment or had a conversation a while back because somebody called him an asshole and he was like, I don't understand why.
Yeah,
I was like, remember that conversation? I was talking about some conversation he had on Quest for Treasure from like 2010. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, it's 14 years later. We're still talking about that conversation. So remember that your words will stick around. And when you talk to people, right? Like this shit's going to be read in the court of law. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah. I think Matt is the greatest because he's super like, damn, what the word just flew out of my head. It's not literal, but it's like, it's straightforward, but he's like logical, super logical.
He's logical. And he tries to help you by like steering you away from fallacies. Right?
Yes. And he'll say like, it wasn't there. And then people get so mad, like they're like, he's attacking them. And he's like, what would help you more than to know that wasn't there?
Yeah. Like it's not his fault it wasn't there.
No, I am his biggest
didn't move it.
Yeah. He is awesome.
Yeah.
He's probably one of the biggest, like, I don't know, like and maybe it was just like, how like I guess there's different eras or something, but like when I came into The Secret, like the thing to do was to find out everything that had come before you. You know what I mean? So it was like, and I have asked Matt some stupid questions, but I've asked him some, I would like to think some cool ones too, like, hey, before the zip code or like before the Latin Lounge were found, did that like, or when the Latin Lounge were found, did that shuffle everything around? He's like, no, like he's like, hold on, give me a second. And then he's like, no, we basically had it nailed. You know what I mean? Like, or like, how did things become this, kind of thing. So yeah, I rambled, but I guess I'm just saying, like, he's awesome.
Matt is spot.
It is a different, there are different eras in The Secret, I
Yeah.
think.
That's what I think.
Because, like, Quest for Treasure was very, like, we don't really give a shit if we find one. And then when like, Brian found one, it wasn't like, he wasn't like, oh my God, I was right, everybody else is wrong. He wasn't like, I'm going to rub this in everybody's faces. One of the first things he said on video was, like, the guys on the internet are going to go nuts. Like, I can't wait to tell the guys on the internet.
Yeah.
But now it's every man for themselves. Now it's like, I'll prove everybody wrong, instead of just fucking work together, dude. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
What are you going to win? The accolades of like 100 nerds? Who cares?
I mean, we all want that. We all
the accolades of 100 nerds.
Yes.
I should make a ribbon with like a button on it that just says that, the accolades of 100 nerds, and just hand it out to people.
I think
I actually want that ribbon.
I have earned, or you are bestowed.
What do you most desire in life? The accolades of 100 nerds.
No, 1,000. Then you fly over the holy grail.
That would be great.
But the thing is, you can't just dismiss what's out there first. You can't try to solve it by, I'm going to come up with something new and ignore what people put out there. You can,
Yeah.
That was definitely an era too, or I don't know if it's an era, it's over or not, but it's like the new way, I guess.
Yeah, it's still an era where it's like, everybody did it before wrong. I'm just going to ignore all the cities and the verses and everything, and really all the answers are back here on page 274.
Yeah.
And it's buried in my backyard in Michigan.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't, I just don't get it. I don't get the leaps. I don't get the leaps that people make. Like, there's an article, it's on the history of The Secret or whatever, where Byron says the back of the book has no bearing on the treasure hunt whatsoever. Yeah. And that's not me saying it. That's the dude who made the book saying it. And people are just like, he's wrong.
But you do have to admit, if it's a treasure hunting book, like the I don't do the back of the book, like I've never even read like the whole thing or whatever, but like you do have to admit, like, when the human nature of the thing is like, if it's treasure hunting book, you would think that like it would have something to do with it. But yeah, no, it's good. I'm sure that's why he said it. Like,
I think before that we figured out how the book was put together, I think that was an argument that could be made. But now, knowing that like the back of the book was already written, they were trying to shop it around as a completely different book.
Yeah.
We look at the manuscripts and notice that nothing's really changed aside from like the spelling of a couple of words, or, a couple of words here and there. Byron didn't really change anything.
Yeah.
And then you got Byron being like, nah, it's not back there. And then John Palancar being on record being like, we should just get rid of it completely. I don't know.
Even beyond that, like, even like as like purely from a puzzle standpoint, if you're going to list dozens and dozens and dozens of references of all kinds, how do you even wade through to figure out what would be important? Like, from a purely puzzle standpoint, you can't do that, because then people would have, if they were going to try to figure out what was important, they'd have to read your mind. Like, there's nothing. And
it's even worse if you give all that to satire authors in the 80s, because all they're going to write about is pop culture. All they're going to do is reference things.
Yeah.
Because that's their job.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'd still like, I more power to people, and God, I hope people are having fun. But I think, like, I don't know. I just wish people would like just sit and think about the likelihood of, what's correct and what's not. I don't know. People are leaving. Do we want to go? It's 11. We've been on for 2 hours. Do we want to go, or do we want to keep talking?
Okay.
Are we having fun? I'm cool if we're having fun.
Forever. I've missed you. But dang it, George, I had a brilliant point, and
I'm so sorry.
No, okay, so I was gonna say, one thing that the puzzle making, and kind of like the whole point behind mind games, and I'm so sorry, mind games. You've been
Marge's kids are still on here.
Aw.
Yeah, they're saying
his son's going to bed now. Good
Yeah,
night,
God
Nick.
bless.
We've raised almost $2,000 for your mom.
Oh, God bless.
We're up to almost 2,000.
Testament to how special your mom was, and how much like she touched us all.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, just to know her is like, just like I said, like being old friends.
I'm so sad that she's not coming to Easter.
Oh my God, George.
Because we were excited about that. She was.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know what was up with the car. She wanted to buy Destiny's car, which was fine. And then she was like, "We're just gonna come to Easter." Hell yeah, that's gonna be fun. No, it's sad, but hopefully, we can do some good and we can help them out.
Amen. Absolutely.
And I mean, shit, almost $2,000 in 2 hours. That is a testament to the community. So.
That's awesome.
So what are we doing? Are we sticking around?
I think 1 second. Let's have Tim, if Tim's still here, tell us what George has to do. All the stuff that George has to do. Poor George.
Thanks, guys.
Well, George won't mind. Put him down for this.
Is Tim still here?
Yeah, he's just being quiet. And
There's 4 participants.
He's doing his job.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we ran late, but God,
it wasn't me this time.
I can try to find it. I'll try to find it real quick.
Not 6 hours. Not my fault.
I missed you guys so much. This was great.
It was a lot of fun yelling about things.
I really missed you.
I don't get to yell as much anymore.
It's not so much fun when you yell.
You
don't need an eyebrow.
So it's like $200 more, and Tim has to give away his black cover, first edition.
Oh, hell yeah! Sorry, I almost said that word.
It's fine. You can say it. Awesome. I don't mind.
You guys are amazing.
I have to do a podcast interview. I don't understand exactly what that is, but I have to do it.
Oh, no, it's a podcast. They get their own podcast, not like a Sunday.
The Anniversary Hunt gets a podcast. I have to do a podcast on the Anniversary Hunt. Is that what you mean?
Our has to be awesome.
Wait, what?
What'd you say, Evie?
I said a 6-hour podcast.
Oh no, that's Evie. That's Evie's specialty, or the anniversary specialty.
Wait, so let me clarify. I have to do a podcast episode about the Anniversary Hunt.
Oh, that's not how I read it. I read it as someone gets a podcast interview, not like a stream, but like a real deal Holyfield podcast. I don't know.
They get to interview me.
Or they request an idea.
I thought they meant they get to do their idea, but I don't.
Oh.
Yeah.
You guys figure that out.
You're so nice, George. I just want everybody to know this part of George from behind the scenes. We just signed him up for shit, and he's just like, oh.
Because I could do a podcast episode about the Anniversary Hunt with video on YouTube, kind of like I did the San Francisco one. I could do that if you want, or I could just do a thing where someone asks me questions, but I feel like that would be boring for everyone else.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just whatever you guys want me to do, I'll do. I don't mind.
There you go. He said witnesses.
Tool.
Yeah.
Use me.
I'm biased, but I think an anniversary podcast would be really cool. But
okay.
I don't know how Tim. I guess we'll ask Tim how he. Oh, here comes.
What?
What?
You should have been saying Tim the whole time so he pops up.
Yeah. You got to say his name 3 times Tim O'Dwyer, Tim O'Dwyer, Tim O'Dwyer.
What's the question?
The podcast episode?
Yeah, we don't understand what that is. What do I have to do?
I thought we had, and maybe I'm wrong because it was late last night. I thought we had discussed potentially either a theory episode or an anniversary hunt episode, but we didn't really decide on anything permanent.
Oh, wait, is it the winner? Does the person who wins it?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
And they might have different ideas. They might want to be on one. They might not want to be on. They might want to make him do the video.
Okay. Well, then we'll winner's choice it. But that should probably only be won by an anniversary hunt person. Because, like, secret people, they don't give a shit. What?
You don't think people want their own podcast?
Well, maybe, but they could just ask for it. Like, that's the thing. They could just ask. And we're like, yeah, dude, we'll do it. Let's do it. Let's set up a time. Like, this is literally what Sunday Fundays are. Just give me a date. We'll do it.
Just looking at who's donated so far, I would say about 95% are people that are in the anniversary hunt anyway. So,
all right.
Okay.
Well, I'll do this then. I'll say this: the person that wins, whoever wins, can choose. I'll either do like a full-on podcast episode about the anniversary hunt, or we can do something like this with them, and they can be on stream.
Cool.
And something tells me that most of them are going to choose the full-on anniversary episode thing.
You just go ahead and start recording that eventually.
Yeah. Cole's here. I'll have Cole help.
That'll be.
Oh, holy shit! That's so cool.
You should pre-record it just in case.
All right.
Or would no edits be, live? You don't know. You never know what's going to be said.
You only got a couple $100 left, Tim, and you got to give away one of your first editions.
No, so yesterday I had one of my contacts come up and say, "Hey, we found one. Do you want it?" And then I was like, "You know what? I'll buy it, and that'll be the donation one." So it is.
Must be nice to have Tim O'Dwyer do.
Yeah. Tim, if this happens to you a lot and you end up with a lot of books that you don't want, I will personally buy them from you for whatever you pay for them and use them for charity drives.
I appreciate that. I mean, a lot of them are signed and like personalized.
I'm saying from here on out. Like once you get like 20 copies and you're like, I don't need any more, you just let me know and we'll start doing charity drives. I'll just buy them from you.
Yeah. If I get to 20 copies, there's something wrong.
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Like, I have cards with German.
Evie,
that's a good idea.
That'll be the $5,000. Someone asked what the $5,000 one is. That's the $5,000 prize. If you want to get
$5,000 prize. So these are very rare. Very secret people aren't going to care as much as Aragon people, but those are very, very rare Aragon advertisements that you can only get from Germany. John even had a limited number of them. Like you had to be at a very specific place buying a very specific thing to get a set of those. And I've seen people in the Aragon groups who are like trying to find them and can't. I have no idea how much they're worth, but they are stupid rare. And John was just handing them out like candy at the meetup. And not like candy. He gave out 2 sets. I think he gave one to Alan Thomason's kid, and he gave one set to you. He brought them for kids.
I got it from Lee for hooking her up at the bathroom and just being
amazing.
I don't know.
Lee was like, "Here's $1,000. Just don't tell anybody."
I'm like, I have postcards. I don't know.
And he gave Steven a set too. So nice, yeah. Those, there's 2 sets. There's the Germany sets, and then there's the Japanese sets. And the Japanese sets have LEDs in them. They're like coasters. They're like plastic coasters with the art, and they have LEDs and they blink and shit. In fact, when I went down to film the documentary with Christina, John had just gotten a set, and he was showing them to me. And we were sitting in his dining room. He's got this big ornate like wood oak table, and this you'll see in the documentary he's sitting at this chair with like ornate dragons and shit carved into it. It's really, really cool. It's like a medieval dining room, and he's opening this package and he's like, look, George, these things have they're coasters and they're LEDs, and you could turn them on and off. And he turned it on and it started flashing, and he couldn't turn it back off. And he was like, all right, I'll figure it out later. And he put it on his dining room table. And then when we came back for the meetup, it was still flashing on his dining room table. So, yeah. Anyway, that's my story for the day. But yeah, so those are 5,000. There you go.
Well, I don't want to speak for Evie, but like somebody
I
was
mean,
asking.
I'm just like, I mean, they have some emotional meaning because this is something like with me and my kids is a big deal. But if it gets her family $5,000,
yeah,
I'm fine with that.
Any updates on the documentary? You know, my meetings, she keeps canceling the meetings, so I don't have any updates. That sounded bad. That's normal. It just means she has nothing new to say when she cancels the meetings. I'll send her a text. I guess that you guys deserve to know what's happening, and I think she's just working because she's got a real job. So I'll shoot her a text and I'll see if I can't get an answer on the documentary in the next couple of days. Does that sound good with everybody?
Sounds great.
Okay. Nice.
Her son Alex is on the group too, right now watching.
Alex is still. Oh, imagine if like we raised $5,000 for his mom. That'd be awesome.
I'm gonna put these back in my drawer. Let me see.
If I ever die, you guys don't have to do this. You know that, right?
I'll wear Easter
Don't
bunny.
die, George. Don't die.
I'll try not to.
Okay.
Everything when I die, everything goes to Chris Preacher, so you guys can just bother.
That's right.
Oh my God.
Could you imagine?
Here.
Could you
People go
imagine?
insane.
Could you imagine going up to Chris and being like, "If we raise $1,000, will you do an interview?" He'd be like, "No."
No. Are you kidding? Like that's not like no.
You could raise $100,000. I'm not doing an interview.
Poor Chris. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, don't die. Chris will not like it.
He's got the worst job. Because like everything that we've got is set up to go immediately to Chris.
Oh God, don't say that publicly.
Stop jinxing. Don't.
I think if I were Chris, I would be like, George, if you don't like make up a new name, like just some rando name, and start like saying that.
Well, it's weird because like, and it's not just 12 Treasure stuff. Like Chris has got to decide who gets all this shit.
Yeah.
I want the Atari set. I call that.
Atari? I don't have that much Atari.
I thought you had. I don't care. Atari 2600. Mine.
Yeah, you can have it all. There's not much. You can fit it in a box. I've got some rare stuff, but not a lot of it.
But my first gaming system, well, Commodore 64, which I don't want to go back to those days of floppy disks. The big ones.
Yeah.
Atari 2600, especially if you have Pitfall.
I do have Pitfall.
That's why I want to come down to research just to play video games.
I have Pitfall on. So there's a bunch of stuff on 12 Treasures that nobody knows about, and one of them is a video game emulator which has like 4,000 video games where you can just go and play. And there's a whole bunch of versions of Pitfall on there.
Yeah, but do you know, like with that joystick thing?
Yeah, you just plug one into your computer. You can get a
but
USB
it's got to be the one. It's got the original square one that you get carpal tunnel within 2 minutes.
Yeah. You can get USB versions. You just plug it into your computer and it just works. I think I have one.
You're sucking my joy out, George.
I'm sorry. Technology's great, Evie. You gotta get in on it.
My stuff's all Mac based. So.
If you die, I'm leaving the community because then I will be convinced this hunt is fully cursed and I don't believe in curses.
Shouldn't you read that out loud? Please stop.
And Steven says he's got you. He's got several Atari 2600 stuff. And he is right. I'm sure he does. Do you just not have an Atari? Or are you just trying to get an Atari? Because you can have Ataris. I got like 4.
Well, I
Can't have
had
the
it when
black one.
11, Atari 2600 when I was 11. Obviously, that did not survive the last, oh my gosh, 43, 44 years.
Have you ever seen pirated Atari games?
Yes, but it's not the same. You gotta have the things.
No. Pirated Atari games from the 70s. Back in the 70s, you could pirate Atari games.
Yep.
Have you ever seen them?
No, because I had a Commodore 64 then, and that's just evil. I do have my flop.
Hang on a second. I'll show you the coolest thing you've ever
What is
seen.
it? Legend, no, Zorg? I'm trying to think of the games I have on floppies playing that thing, and they're all text-based.
I think we should
They're bad.
help. I think we should help Chris out and just have George start putting like post-it notes that say Eve Tim Day on things. Like send this to Eve Tim Day. Let them figure out who.
I'm good at organizing.
There's our combo name.
Nick, it's Pitfall.
So this is what a pirated Atari game looks like.
Yeah, I know. You put them. It's like I don't want to say clip.
It's EPROMs.
Yeah,
You put little
I have a
EPROMs
bunch of
in.
those. Want to trade?
Oh, I love them. I love pirated games.
I have a couple hard drives I can send you a bunch of those EPROMs.
No, I got plenty of that. It's the EPROMs. Of course, now I can just write my own EPROMs, but yeah, like some guy came to my house. He was like a reseller guy because he knows I buy video games, and he's like, I got all this stuff, and I don't know what to do with it. And it was a big box of Atari stuff, but it had all of these like pirated games in it. And I was like, shit, I'll buy it just for that. It was the first time I ever got pirated games for the Atari. Look, it's Chopper Command.
You find all the. Oh, come on! Stop. I'll trade you.
I got Star Trek, Star Master.
Superman? Do you have Superman?
No.
Indiana Jones?
I have Custer's Revenge, but only on the pirated version. 'Cause I'm
Asteroids.
not rich.
So you need to have mission control, like all those original ones. Superman, Jungle Hunt.
I got a box. I don't know. I never really liked Atari, so I don't know.
Well, you're younger and you started with the better stuff. Some of us, you start with like Commodore 64 with just the tech stuff, and you will quickly appreciate.
Well, no, I'm fairly adept at Commodore 64s and VIC 20s and stuff. Because like my first computer was a Cornerstone IBM clone. It was Commodore 64 era, so I just didn't get into video.
64 was a brick, literally.
I got a couple of those sitting around.
I don't want that. I do have my flop. Just like, what was it, Zorg? There's a couple games that were big that I have.
So my coolest Atari thing is, I don't know where it is, but so there's this series of games called Sword Quest, which is right around the time Byron made The Secret. Atari had these puzzle games where you could win, like if you solved the game, you would win like one was like a big ass piece of jade inside of a glass or a gold dome. The other one was a gold crown. There was like a pendant or something, and one was like a white gold and platinum sword. Like these were like real legit $100,000 prizes, right? And they released 3 games. There were 4 games scheduled. They released 3. They released Earth, Water, and Air Worlds, and then they never released Earth, Water, Fire, and they never released Air. And I have all of those, but I reached out to one of the guys that worked on Air, and I bought a prototype, and it doesn't work, and you can't do anything with it. It's just because I don't have a developer kit, but that's the coolest Atari thing I have. That was expensive.
Alex says he would, his mom would watch his Uncle Mark play Pitfall on the Atari for hours and hours. Just saying.
This came out at the same time as The Secret. 1982.
No.
Yeah.
Well, no, I would have been, I would have been 11, so that was 80, 81. So yeah, you're right. That's kind of scary.
Yeah, that's the same year as The Secret. Pitfall came out. People who are like, Byron wanted you to computer, like, computer analyze all of the stuff in Photoshop or whatever. This was the technology of the time.
Yeah. And you got the big floppy disks.
Yeah.
Not even a zip drive at that point.
Fire, water, air, and dirt. Fucking magnets. How do they work? You can't quote the Insane Clown Posse on Secret Podcast. It's illegal.
You just read it.
I know, but it's not my fault. It's Dave. Can't
Well,
do
Dave
it.
causes all the trouble. He's also the one that got sick on the cruise. So.
Yeah. Dave got sick on the cruise?
Was it Dave or Dan?
Dave didn't go on the cruise.
Well, then it was Dan.
Dan didn't get sick on the cruise.
There was one person that got sick on the cruise.
There are a couple people that got sick on the cruise, but
Wow.
it wasn't their fault.
It was like something that you guys even put, who can guess who got sick?
Steven's like, how do magnets work? I don't know, man. It's a miracle.
Right? Invisible forces.
It's insane that that was an ICP quote. I was young and stupid once. I listened to the clowns.
And ICP's Detroit, man, just saying.
Yeah.
Ken says he's Oregon Trail old, and so am I. And you'd have to, if you're lucky to get to play it at school, you have to do the phone receiver. Back when it was connected with a long cord. And go,
Oh, we didn't get to play ours on the internet.
I don't know. It was like a magic box at school, but I don't even know how people got to have access.
Sounds like you had a modem.
But you had to put the phone receiver in.
Yeah, it's a modem.
Not by today's standard, that's for sure.
Still a modem.
That's what you need to have in your room. You need to find one of those because you find everything at the thrift
A
stores.
modem?
You need
like a handset modem, like a
Yes,
like a
with the
600 baud
handset.
modem.
George is like, hold on, let me.
Well, I got one.
For everything, George is like, hold on.
I forget what system it is, but like way back in the day with Amiga and Commodore 64 and stuff like that, Atari had a computer. It was like the Atari 1000 or something. I don't remember what it was, but Rachel's coworker was digging through his garage and he found one, and he just gave it to me. I actually saw this on my Facebook memories like a day or two ago. It was like 10 years ago, but it popped back up. Anyway, he gave it to me, and it came with a modem, and I actually got it online. It didn't do much, but I got it online. So
You find the cool stuff. I don't buy that stuff.
I don't
Picture
know how I
me,
found this shit. Like
big glasses from the 80s, sitting on a
I'm just
Is there a gold funky footstool that's like this big and 70s gold? But you got to imagine the glasses that were bigger than my head.
Sword Quest and the Secret will remain unsolved. Sword Quest was solved. All three of them. That's where the treasures are now was unsolved. But what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something.
That we all love each other. We're one big family. We got
No, the way, because people always ask me how I find this shit, and I think it's because I put myself in weird positions. Like we were in the group chat earlier. What other kind of person is gonna buy that thing? You know?
that.
What other kind of person is gonna buy that? Me. That's how I find this stuff. I put myself
better
in those
not-
positions.
That better not be an anniversary present for your wife.
No, it's just gonna go in the bathroom.
The thing that will not be mentioned by name.
I don't care who mentioned it by name, but I'll post a picture and then everybody will be like, "What the fuck?"
See if they can
No, wait till after the party so people can actually see it.
Oh yeah, when they go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
People probably, a couple of people will probably use it.
Maybe you
What's
can
gonna be
give
what's
guys get to guess if they can guess it.
what's gonna be great at this Easter party is there's a bunch of secret people coming. There's probably gonna be like 6 or 7 or more secret people that are gonna be there. But then there's a lot of my friends that they don't care at all about the secret. So they're gonna be segmented, and I've warned everybody. I was like, look, man, my friends think this is really, really, really dumb, like really dumb, and they're vicious, you know, like they're gonna make fun of you. And I was like, and I'll be right there with you. They're gonna make fun of me too.
Yeah. Oh my God. There's gonna be 2 parties: the living room and then your office there. Your
Mark
podcast.
says Wikipedia says Sword Quest was never solved. It was. There were 3 games, and each one was solved. And then after each one, there was a competition there was like a modified game at a competition. All the winners, like the top 100 winners or whatever, were flown in, and they all had to play this modified game, and whoever beat the modified game first won. And that happened for the first and second, and Atari went bankrupt before the third, and the two prizes, the third and the fourth prize, were never seen again. It was the jade, I think it was the jade block and the sword. And the guy that got the it was a chalice. The guy that got the chalice had it melted down, and the guy that got the crown kept it.
Rude. That's very rude.
Yeah, me and Robert Jenner were going to do a podcast episode about Sword Quest because it mirrors The Secret a lot. Because like so what it is a game. You play the game and you got to figure out the theme of the game. And the first one was Zodiac, so you have to use that to you get all these little items and you got to figure out which room to put them in. It's Atari, so it's very low tech. You got to figure out which room to put them in, and then each one of those, every time you do it correctly, a number flashes on the screen, and that corresponds to a comic book page, like a page in a comic book. And then somewhere hidden on that comic book page is a word. And you've got to find all of these words, the correct words. Like every page has a word, but you have to have the correct ones. And it makes a phrase, and that's how you know you solved the thing. And the second one was like Kabbalah, whatever the life thing is. Chakras, I don't remember what it's called.
You guys got to do that. That would be awesome.
Yeah. He's got stuff going on.
Yeah.
So both were partially solved. No, dude, they were solved. You could do it if you want. There's YouTube videos. You just watch them. Partially solved. No, they were solved.
Yes, they had
the
there for
prizes
you.
were given out.
Have you played Fez?
I don't know what Fez is.
Oh, you need to play Fez.
What is Fez? It sounds awesome. It's not. It's hard. What is Fez? Let me look up Fez.
It's something we were kind of looking into. Is something for your not 7. What is that other the puzzle?
I've seen that. I think I have it on Steam because I bought like a bunch of puzzle games on Steam once. Because that was something else me and Robert Jenner were gonna do. We were gonna review because he was doing the code bar and he was focused on like books, like puzzle books. And he and I were talking, and I was talking about how the future of puzzles is not in books. Like, books are dying. Puzzle books, anyway. Regular books, they're fine. They're not going anywhere. But puzzle books are dying. Where people are doing puzzles is video games. Like, you guys did the Vault or whatever, right? And it probably sold a few hundred copies. As opposed to, like, a video game puzzle that sells millions. You know? Like Portal. Oh my God. If a puzzle book had the number that Portal has, it would be the end of the world. So I was telling him, like, you got to start talking about games, dude. So we were going to do this whole series.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
And I bought a Humble Bundle, which is a place where you can buy cheap games kind of in a bundle. They did a big puzzle bundle. It was like $40 and you got 50 games or something. I don't remember. But anyway. It would be fun. Convince Robert to come out of retirement and we'll do it.
Yeah. Will you teach us how to make video games?
Will I teach you how to make video games? It's real hard. It's real hard.
I know. There's no way I can make a video game.
I had this like idea because I did that one video game for Jenny. And I used a thing called RPG Maker to do that. And it was really pretty easy, right? Because it was a simple kind of crap game. There wasn't really much of a point. The hardest part was a fight that was pointless that you couldn't win in the game. And I had this idea. I was like, okay, she's going to do this next year. What I really want to do is code a Nintendo game. Like make one from scratch, put it on a cartridge and make that the puzzle. Like if you have to donate X amount of money and if you donate to her like $100, you get a cartridge, a Nintendo cartridge in a box with a manual. Like I had all of that worked out. I sourced the boards, I sourced the cases, and then I sat down trying to make the game. Yeah. I was like, no.
Oh. Yeah.
We haven't heard from yours and Destiny's AI. peoples in a long time.
AI people?
Remember you and Destiny did the one live where she had an AI
It's gotten
thing
much
and
better.
you had an AI thing and the questions were asked and it was not very.
Dude, I don't even Google anymore. I just like Chat GPT has its own monitor. And anytime I have a random question, I'm like, ask it to that. And then it doesn't always give me the right answer, but it tells me where I should go look.
Nice.
You know? And more often than not, it gives me the right answer. Like a lot of the stuff that I was doing for the Quest for Treasure archive, it was dealing with a massive amount of data. And ChatGPT will help me parse that really, really easily.
Oh.
So it's gotten way better. It's going to take over.
For sure.
Anyway, Sunday looks tired.
Jesus. That's not nice.
I'm not.
So there's a delay. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, there's a delay. So maybe she was just bored when I was talking. She was like,
No, I was listening. I was like, oh, no, that face was like, gosh, I don't know how to do like any of the things.
Jessica
Like-
Cortez went to college for video game coding.
Oh, nice.
Kudos to George for being so good at it. I'm not good at it. I'm not. I used a program to do, and I tried to do it. Like Nintendo games are written in assembly, so I tried to learn, and I was like, it was way over my head.
No. Oh, yeah. Well, then I have no chance. Like, if George tells me, like, no, it's easy. I'll show you how to do it. I'm like, okay, hold on. I'll try it. If he's like, it's hard, like, I'm like, never mind. I'm out.
There's this cool game called I think it's called Game About Digging a Hole. Where that's legitimately all it is. Like you walk into a backyard and there's a lot of grass and you have to dig a hole. Why do you have to dig a hole? You don't know. They give you a shovel and you have to dig a hole, and it's the most fun game.
That would be fun. We do that. Like, that's the secret. Like, just dig a hole.
I didn't realize legacy is a thing and been watching that video over and over. Speaking of pixelated things, that's a puzzle from like 6 years ago, long time ago.
And that's what we were talking about, Fez. Jessica and I were like, hey, this could be a Fez.
Nobody's ever going to figure that out. I made Legacy too hard. Because it wasn't made for secret people. It wasn't made for secret hunters. It was made for the Reddit puzzle guys. The guys who do like really, really, really hard puzzles. And when they were like, I have no idea where to start, I was like, okay, I made this too hard. Because it's really, like, the puzzle's not even on that page. You look at the video and that doesn't help you at all.
Yeah.
It's not a distraction. It's a useful thing. That's not even where you start.
Brutal. That's brutal. Yeah. I'm super, super excited. I can't believe when you said Cole is coming to see you.
Yeah, we
Like,
flew him down for Easter.
That's like that's so cool. That's going to be really fun.
Yeah.
Hopefully he can cross.
Are you guys going to
with
stream?
no border issues.
We're gonna do Sunday Funday.
Yeah.
And then he wants to record up. He wants to do so much stuff. He's only here for like 5 or 6 days, and he wants to do 2 years worth of stuff. Like, he's like, I've never seen the ocean. I want to go to the ocean. He's like, I've never eaten crab legs. I want to have crab legs. I want to record a podcast episode with you about Marilyn Manson, because Cole really likes Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
And I don't think Cole realizes I really don't like Marilyn Manson.
Oh.
So that's going to be a very interesting stream. And he's like, I want to record a podcast episode, and I want to do a Sunday Funday, and I want to see the Fountain of Youth. And he's like, got this list of stuff.
You
like,
can't
dude,
break his heart, George.
I'm going to try to do it all. I'm going to try. So,
I feel like if you're going to do a Marilyn Manson thing, that you should have, one of you should have to be made up like Marilyn Manson. Maybe redo the We're All Stars video.
Marilyn Manson's so like,
well, I mean, if you're going to do it, you might as well.
I have to save all of this, like all of my comments I have to save for if Cole actually does want to record that. That won't be a secret podcast thing. He wants to do like a music podcast on his own.
That'd be
so
cool.
Maybe something for that, but I have to save all of my comments because I have a lot. I have a lot of opinions about Marilyn Manson. Like he was cool when I was 15. You know?
Jeez.
We're all starving. Saying.
He quickly became not cool when I turned about 17.
Were they saying that? Oh, there's somebody they were saying was actually him, and it's just like one of those stupid
What?
conspiracy theories. Like
That he was the dude from the Wonder Years?
maybe
That was
that
the
might be one of
conspiracy.
them. I think there's another one too.
There's a ton of difference between Manson fans and Juggalos. Oh my God. So Rebecca's going to hate this. Rebecca Fox said that. Me and James, the guy from Anderson, we were talking about doing a music podcast with Cole. Who we were going to do his Manson one because he wanted that one to be first. But the second one we were going to do was comparing Juggalos, Insane Clown Posse fans, to Swifties. And talking about how they are the exact same people.
They are.
There is no difference between Juggalos and Swifties.
Better makeup, better outfits.
No, they don't even have that. They all get the tattoos with like 13 or what the fuck ever. That's their Hatchet Man. You know, they all have the things.
And you will see all the ICP people in certain places, and it is a thing. It's been a thing since then.
The exact same.
What? You put that in my head.
There's no difference. They all have the chants. They all, you know, they go to all the shows and they have the chants and they have the things that they have to do and they throw shit at each other and they trade things and they have there's no difference between Swifties and Juggalos.
Well,
I'd say attractiveness is a big difference. I've seen some pretty hot Juggalos.
Oh my gosh. But you haven't been to Detroit.
Swifties.
Come to Detroit and you'll see the real Juggalos.
Nah, then you gotta be in Detroit.
But I have a friend that, and she's a first grade teacher. And looking at her, you would never know that she is a fan, and she's been. Yes.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I was like,
Rebecca wants to know who would win in a fight, Juggalos or Swifties. I think it would be. I think both of them would just yell at each other because neither one of them are fighters. And Dave said that they show more skin, but I don't know which one he's talking about, but because they both show a lot of skin.
I can't even do it by the sheer number of people on either side.
Did you ever see the movie with ICP in it? I can't remember the name, but they saved some girl. There were two. Fuck, I know too much about ICP. There were only two that I know of: Big Money Hustlers and Big Money Rustlers. I don't remember. Anyway. Okay.
I mean, a mosh pit between the two would be pretty interesting.
We've gone on for 3 hours. This is like an old school anniversary stream.
It is.
I don't even think there's anybody watching anymore.
I gotta go.
Let's see if I can go another 3 hours. Let's go.
Right. So we're done for the night. We want to tell everybody bye.
Yeah,
We're done.
I think so.
I'm done.
700.
Can we do a final update?
Oh,
Like over $1,700.
Is that what we're up to now? It was like
Yeah.
1750 last time I looked. 1745.
Yeah, 1745.
Wow, guys.
Come on, guys. You know you want it.
Yeah.
And these hands touched the Cleveland painting.
I'm gonna
They
take.
didn't think about it at the time of picking that thing up. But later, I was like, oh shit.
I'm gonna take that audio, remove it from this video, and just use it as a button, out of context. Just Evie going, "Come on, guys, you know you want it." And these hands have touched the Cleveland painting.
And there's been a Palin car in my car.
And Anderson has the best wieners. I don't. All right, cool. Thank you everybody for coming on. Thank you for honoring Marge and donating to her family. I'm sure they appreciate it. That thing's gonna run for you said 2 weeks, Tim, or a week?
1 week from
1 week.
Tonight. Well, from we'll just say Palm Sunday to Easter Sunday.
Who while we're on the record, who's responsible for divvying stuff out? Do I need to send all of this, like this coin and stuff, to you, Tim, or You're just gonna give me a name. And I'll
I
send it
think
to
I
him.
would just give you a name and the address, and
Okay.
we go from there, because I think that'd be easier between the four of us, and then
All right. Works for me.
I think I might have some other people donating prizes who want to donate to contribute, so
Cool.
it'd just be easier for me, I guess, to,
All right. Nice.
yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
We'll be back next week with Cole.
Yes.
Mhm.
All right. The
Bye, guys.
stream is now stopped.